that like, it was only like a Switch thing. Technically, it's like all platforms. So literally, like everybody's hoping that they fix like a day one patch. My mother had to me. She told me she found it while cleaning up the closet. This old notebook covered with mold was a diary that belonged to my grandfather who passed away years ago. It contained his distant memories. It's like the opening to Chrono Cross. I wonder if you still remember how we first met in our many adventures. It all seemed like a dream. We ran like the wind during those warm summer days long ago. You were a piece of star that fell from the sky. I can still relive the memories of those days long past, just by closing my eyes like so and whispering your name into the desolate night. Kid, kid, Shala. So this game right here was only released in Japan, never came out to the West, and it is a visual novel. A visual novel that was only released for the Super Nintendo. Well, Super Famicom. Kid, hey kid, are you ready, kid? I know you're anxious, but stay on your toes. I just probably read. See, I don't like doing storytelling. Yeah, likewise, mate. You mess up and I'm leaving you behind. Got that, Sergey? Or Serge, whatever his name is. Yeah, let's go. That basilisk's gonna give me dessert. Say your prayers, not that only do. So, that probably is the Viper Manor right there. I think McGill was, fucking, what was it, Magus? Radical Genius, Le Trésor, Interdit. Literally, it looks like an origami bird, but it's not. Alright, so up, down, left, right, change selection, X to confirm, circles to cancel, triangles menu, squares auto text. Oh, thank you very much. Adjust menu sound settings, cool. And basically, uh, L1, R1, L2, R2, and in options is return to launcher. Okay. Thank God it's auto text. We're gonna leave it like that. And I really mean too, because I don't want to keep pressing the button. The old lady's tip-off was right in the money. The counter spell and barrier around the outer walls could have done a real number on us. Kid's plan and adorned braid flick back and forth across her shoulders as she walked. Picked her way through the elaborate lattice of the manor's many shields. Oop. Let me get a chance. Fine, I'll just say next. I guess it must have been 3 years already since I first met Kid back then. I was just a wandering musician, traveling wherever my feet would take me, and wherever a few tunes would pay for a warm bed. It was in the Outlands, in a town called Regora, where we first ran across one another. Since then, she dragged me along a whole bunch of adventures, and misadventures too. Ah, Kid. She was a thief, and not just any thief, just a few months shy of 17 and already renowned as one of the realm's greatest. What's more, she's achingly beautiful, stylish, a joy to be around, and a dab hand at campsite cooking, or so she liked to claim. The truth is a little different. Those bandits with hearts of gold you've heard about in stories, the ones who steal from the rich to give to the poor, yeah, that wasn't kid style, anything like Robin Hood. She was short-tempered, prone to lying, bossy, and obsessed with money, and rarely she did not care to listen to a single word anyone would say to her. But she wasn't all bad. Probably. Maybe sometimes she had her moments anyway. I glanced from my shoulder to see a shadow hovering behind us, blending into the darkness like smoke. McGill, also known as McGill the Shade. He was Kid's partner, but even after 3 years, I still knew hardly anything about him. All I knew that he was around 30 years old and not much of a talker, but he was one heck of a mage. So, I'm pretty sure that has to be Magus, probably. Because basically, Guili is Magus, from what people have said. I heard that he and Kid had started working together way before I met her. He always covered the top half of his face with a mask, and I never seen what he looked like underneath. He was a man so mysterious that it sometimes seemed like he was an interloper from another world. It wasn't like Kid was exactly big on details about her past, but McGill, he might as well not have one. And Kid did not seem to know much about her partner in crime either. What kind of man he was, what kind of life he lived before. Nothing. You might ask how exactly I wanted a part of this merry band. Well, it's complicated. I guess you could say that life doesn't always turn out the way you think it will. Kid, who was in up a little rain party, suddenly stopped dead. Look lively, boys, we got company. I glanced around rarely as cold, cruel eyes emerged from the darkness. I heard a low growl. Dark shadows prowled through the night surrounding us. A pack of wildcats. There must have been 10 of them. A thrill of fear ran down my spine. Flustered, I pulled my knife from my belt. Kid calmly shit in defiance. Watch yourself. I don't reckon this bug has been treated for rabies. The wildcat snarled and growled as they slowly closed in on us, drawing the noose tighter and tighter. Their eyes glinted in the darkness like fireflies. Strings of eager spittle dripped wetly to the ground. Then one of them sent an almighty roar soaring to the moon, and the hunt was on. I slashed into my wildcat with my knife. The beast tried to leap clear, but I was already too close. I felt the blade in contact and was worried with the screech of pain. The wildcat jumped away, this time managing to put some space between us, though I had cut very deeply. I stood my ground, changing my grip on the knife, and waiting for another chance to attack. Surge behind you! Panicked by Kid's warning, I whirled quietly around and came face to face with Parasite, blazing like hellfire. The wildcat was coming right at me. By reflex, I ducked and attack swept through the air directly over my head. I felt his hot breath from my cheek as it flew by me. At the same time, I thrust my knife upward, plunging into the beast's belly. With a horrible cry of agony, the wildcat crashed face first to the ground. I was about in chaos and fell down a heap as well. I rolled over and was only able to stagger back to my feet before readying myself as my next opponent. I was breathing heavily. The head of my knife was slick with sweat and tightened my grip. With a kick like a bolt of lightning, Kid landed a clean hit on the flank of one of my wildcats. It staggered before losing his footing, laying on a pathetic cry. The Kid had already moved in to finish it off, and then a roar of fire. A burning smell filled my nostrils. A shrill screech pierced the air. McGill's fire spell engulfed the head of a nearby wildcat. It fled, darting up into the dark second arrow. And the battle was won. I scanned the area only moments ago when we had been surrounded, but now there wasn't a single wildcat left. Kid and McGill had either sent the rest off with their tails between their legs or paid to put them once and for all. Ha! You're dreaming if you think a pack of flea-ridden monkeys is gonna stop us slinks. Kid crossed her arms and flashed a triumphant grin. Meanwhile, I was panting heavily, and I felt my legs were about to give out from under me. I collapsed to my knees, overwhelmed by what I'd just been through. Oof. I had taken a few hits, but I was fine otherwise. A couple of scars to talk about later, maybe, but nothing would stop me carrying on. Are you hurt? Miguel looked down at me, his face expressionless as ever. Oh, no worries, Mag, you'll be alright, said Kid, barging in to get a better look at me. It may be rigging sort, but it'll be taking more few scratches to kill this one. She was something not sympathetic, but she was right. There was no time to be moaning my lot. We hadn't even reached the manor yet. I dabbed my wounds with a tincture salt cloth and wrapped them with bandages, then looked up to the other two. We're just getting started. I grinned back, putting a brave face on things. That's what I like to hear, Kid cheerily announced from close quarters. But then her eyes turned cold, like a cool glow of the moon in the night sky. It's gonna be a long night. I nodded, trying my hardest not to utterly lose myself in her pale blue eyes. Alright, let's get this show back on the road. She turned away and marched off deeper into the trees without looking behind to see if me and Miguel were following her. Miguel, of course, was already right behind her, his unhurried gait making it seem as though nothing much had happened at all. I jumped back on my feet to chase after them, and I'd be in for more trouble than I bargained for if I got separated from them. The dark forest inside the manor's perimeter seemed to go on forever, a labyrinth with trees and boulders. The manor itself loomed in the distance, glowing over the vast grounds, and hidden within was a veritable mountain of treasure just waiting for us. Lord Lynx, was a noble who ruled the remote territory of Rigora. He was also Kid's mortal enemy. We were there that night to steal a certain jewel he kept locked away in his most closely guarded vault, the Frozen Flame, which is also something that you encounter in Chrono Cross. The Frozen Flame was veiled in mystery. It is said to be imbued with uncanny energy and possessed of a beauty and clarity that made it a priceless treasure. I think the Frozen Flame is in Chronopolis. Pretty sure. Countless thieves had tried to steal it, and not one of them had come close to succeeding. Nor had any of them escaped the manor alive. And now it was our turn to try and sneak into this place of death. Led by a girl who had the ambition to make the impossible possible, a hunger for vengeance that drove her onward, and a desire for riches that could never be satisfied. As we pressed on through the tree-filled darkness, the shadows gave way at last, revealing the true extent of the vast mansion. Yep, right from Manor. Oh boy, what? Heh, finally, say your prayers, Lynx, cause we're coming for ya. Keeping to the overgrowth in the shadows of the trees, we made our way around the manor walls in search of a means of entry. Eventually, we came to a terrace overlooking the garden. There was no sign of any guards nearby. The only thing surrounding the manor was an uncanny stillness. This will just lead us straight into the West Wing, just as well. We don't have any business in the rest of the manor tonight, said McGill, gazing up at the dark building towering over us in the night. Alright then, what are we waiting for? With that, Kid made to vault over the railing of the terrace. Stop! Remember what we're here for. Our main target is the vault and the frozen flame within. We focus on this above all else. Your vengeance is a secondary concern. Agreed? Glancing over his shoulder, Kid replied with a recline, yeah, don't get your knickers in a twist. But if we happen to run him, I'm gonna knock that Drongo's block off and neither you or anybody else is gonna stop me. I guess Kids was going to get her way whether she liked it or not. Let's go, boys. The night is young. She cleared the railing with a sprightly hop and vanished into the manor. I glanced toward McGill and nodded in silence. We followed Kid's lead, and we were soon inside Lord Link's lair. The darkness swallowed us whole. I really don't know how long this game is. A corridor stretched off to the left and right from the chariots. We seemed to equally dark and chilly in both directions. Uh, go left. We pressed on through the darkness, down corridors that turned into a snake like this way and that. Everything around us was still and silent, and it felt strangely like we were being watched. It was as if countless eyes were staring at us purely from the windows. We continued creeping cautiously down the corridors. Kid moved proudly and stealthily like a cat stalking his prey, while in the shadows McGill followed quickly and swiftly and silently with a sinister breeze. We pressed on into the embrace of the Weaver of Fate. Really hope there's like no bad ending to this game. Kid stopped us. There's something there. I listened carefully. A figure appeared in the darkness on the other side of the corridor. It's a skeleton. Skeleton warriors! Rereading ourselves for a fight. We squared up against the skeleton. It threw the sword it was carrying to the ground and took a step forward. Then it twisted its body to a strange pose. Wait, is it doing what I think it is? It proceeded to contort itself further, adopting a shape it can only be described as highly suggestive. For a moment, no one knew quite how to respond. What the bloody hell? What should we... Wait, kid, look at Mag. McGill seemed completely bewitched. There was no way he'd be any use to us in the state. What are we gonna do? Miguel, pull yourself together. I tried my hardest to get through him, but he just carried and staring up in space with Megan and died. What the heck is wrong with him? What kind of riddle gets his head turned into a bloody skeleton? What a kid turning back to face our foe. But can't be helped. It's only a bag of bones. We can handle this. She lunged toward the creature. The skeleton brought down its sword, but Kid nimbly dodged with his sidestep to the left. It took advantage of her momentum to kick it right into its side. Well, in the spine, close to its basically. Crunch! The bone shattered, separating the skeleton into two halves. You did it! Piece of cake! The skeleton wasn't quite done yet, though. Supporting its upper body was its left hand. It quickly picked itself back up. And then with its right hand, it flung its sword at me. What was it going to do? I dodged my reflex, but I picked the wrong direction to dodge it. The hilt of the sword bashed into the side of my head like a hammer. God, I doubled the pain. Take this. The kid rushed down the skeleton and shattered its skull with an almighty kick. The bones of his upper body fell to the floor with a clatter, then finding the creature like steel. Well, battle was won. You're right, Sergey. Yeah, I think so. That's that dealt with now. Kid turned attention to McGill. Can't believe this Drongo. Black. She brought her fist down hard on his head. Made I wake you up? Now we're done here. Let's get a bloody move on. What was I? Oh, ow. Oof. It taken a few knocks, but I was alright. A scrape or two wouldn't stop me. Maybe you ain't such a Drongo after all. Just goes to show any will will make something of themselves if they put their mind to it. Kid's eyes glinted with mischief. Well, that's clear. Well, let's get a few. We took the corridor leading from the left-hand side of the terrace, eventually arriving at an intersection with some stairs. The path to the right led down the stairs. The path was a dark side passage. The main corridor continues straight onward. Well, let's go downstairs. Damn, look at that. Slowly we crept down the staircase, descending deeper into the black descent as we went. At the bottom, the path split. The way to the left continued, and on a turn we assembled to a plaza while the path was right-winding passageway and traveled into darkness. Uh, guess go left. Kid poked her head through the arch-shaped door and looked around. Huh, it's big in here. Must be some kind of hall. We took a cautious look around and then entered one after another. Ooh, wow. The atrium was like a beautiful plaza, complete with a statue that doubled like as a fountain. Pillars and arches lined the walls, and in the center was a small pool of clear water above which the statue stood. Oh, that damn imp. On the other side of the room, I could see another arch entrance like the one we had come through. Ooh, that's cold. Kay was scooping up water from the fountain. I went over to her and resting my hand on the edge of the marble basin, peered into the pool beneath. Shadows flickered on the water surface. You reckon those fish are rare, as in valuable? Kid leaned right over the edge. I could see the bottom. I wondered how deep it was. The shadow of one of the fish grew larger and larger. Whoa! Sensing danger, Kid leapt back from the edge. Clack! A fish leaped out from the water and snapped at her. Its jaws bristling with razor-sharp teeth. Its mouth closed shut on the air, where she only been moments before, and with the splash the fish darted back under the water. Pteranodons. Deadly carnivorous fish raised their sharp teeth and powerful jaws like a snap a monster's horn in half. Staring in horror, I watched as dark shadows began to gather in what little of the pool I could make out. The pteranodons must have detected prey. Soon the room was filled with the sound of splashing and snapping as the fish teemed at the water's surface. Bloody hell! Even Kid was uneasy. She took another step back. How many pteranodons were in the pool? The thought of what would happen if they all leapt clear of the water and attacked at once crossed my mind. A bead of cold sweat rolled down my forehead. Suddenly, the water coming from the statue turned crimson and shot a powerful jet that nearly touched the ceiling. Kid jumped back again, and I stood in shock watching the torrent of water run from the statue. The scarlet waters continued to gush out from the fountain. The pool grew redder and started to overflow. We looked on, entranced, but the spell was soon broken when we realized that the water was starting to flow faster and faster within the basin. The pteranodons began to jump and snap at the water surface with a lusty glee. I was brought to my senses by a dull slapping sound from the floor. Quick, there's an exit on the other side. I pointed the door and up to where we came. Trevor has to rush to the prostrate pool, seeing up great gallons of crimson water, but it was thick as blood, and was struggling to move. I felt sharp jabs of searing pain as countless pteranodons snapped from my legs. Kate gritted her teeth in pain. Dude, we gotta do something before we get turned into mincemeat. What was I going to do? That's right, those fingers started to try to wade through the office exit. I was already up my waist. They made like warm meat rolls from the water's surface. Turning my legs and the bites burned like fire. It was so long way to the exit to the outside. Their faces especially bloody. Sir, do you want to die here? I still there, mouth a grape of paranoid snake with teeth into my foot. Pain surged up my leg, making me jump. I lost my footing and crashed face first into the water. The red haze drifting down to fill my eyes. My hungry paranoids all fought at once. Kid screams from more and more distant, my consciousness plunged to the bottomless darkness. And that was how I died. Well, I guess you could say bad end. So, yeah, it looks like there are bad ends in this game here. Oh, I didn't know I can save. Well, I now know. Well, nothing I really can do now. Because literally, like, I can't actually, like, change anything. Also, I don't think there's no way to actually, like, skip this whole thing. But let me see for the hell of it. God damn it, didn't mean that. Yep. Damn. I kind of wish I would have knew that shit. I'm gonna try to get through this as quick as I can. What if it's like standing going just like the left, I go to the right? I mean, literally, these are like, literally a choose your own adventure. And I literally mean too. It is a literally a choose your own adventure. But technically, that's how like visual novels are. It's still kind of pretty amazing how like they actually like managed to like port this. Not to mention, like, like translating it too. I wonder, can I actually save when I get the choice? I mean, hopefully I can. Sleep. Be right back, chat room. Alright. So I go down a quarter. Okay, last time I went left, but let me see. Aha, I can. We're gonna go right. I saw through the darkness down the corridors, turn and twist snake like this way and that. Everything around us was still inside and felt like strangely like we were being watched. It was as countless eyes were staring silently from the shadows looking on Kiara singing PT. Okay. On the corner there, right hand side, I found an ancient looking door on our right. Kid pressed an ear against it, listening for any signs of life. Dead quiet. Don't reckon there's anybody in there. Uh, in we go. Kid still heard breath and reached for the handle. The door was unlocked and swung slowly open. God, why am I thinking like Clock Tower right now? Because, I mean, it sounds almost similar to it, but not really. The room was large and littered with peculiar-looking machinery and knickknacks, all of which were covered in dust and seemingly been dumped there haphazardly. Everything looked like it had been there rusting for a very long time. The ends of the room were completely dark, and it was impossible to tell just how big it was, or even what the walls and floors looked like. It seemed the mayor's inhabitants had turned the old clock tower into a makeshift storage space some time ago. Wow, what a sheer fucking coincidence, even though I just got done saying that shit. I started whirling inside. Leave that alone. I looked over toward Miguel and saw a kid trying to pull something from the shadows. It was a huge sword and appeared to be old indeed. You don't need that old bludgeon. They only get in the way. As much of an antique it is, it won't fetch much on the market in that condition. Yeah, I reckon, there's plenty of collectors who just love bits of junk. Well, some bits of junk. Pallion, Kay left the sword where she stood, and at least she put it back down gently. It was then that we heard a voice from the shadows. It was, what is that he doing here, I just about jumped out of my skin. Who's there? Kid and McGill turned to face the voice, ready for a fight. A wizened crone emerged from the shadows. She was hunched over and wore a hood draped over her face. I could tell at a glance that she wasn't just old, she was positively ancient. So someone dragged you all hog. What do you think you're doing, stinging of us like that? Kid showed relaxing his attention on her body. McGill, however, continued to give the woman a piercing stare. Oh, what an imbecile thing you are. Here to visit a friend, perhaps? Not in the dead of night, I suspect. The crone narrowed her eyes. Let's get a closer look at you. Ah, yes. You must be here to get your revenge on Lynx. How did she... My heart jumped. She seemed to know exactly who we are. We were in trouble. What if she sounded the alarm? We have to give up on the treasure and run for our lives. What are we going to do? So what if we are? Kid narrowed her eyes right back at the crone. What's it to you if we're here to get our revenge on old Lynxy boy? You're gonna do something about it? You never change, do you? The crone chuckled madly, her small frame shaking. Ah, the boldness of youth. Yes, that's the spirit. You what? Kid looked at Crone completely confused. I was no less mystified. What the heck are you talking about? Oh, it must have been 4 or 5 years ago. Yes, it was around that an ancient, innocent young thief stole into the manor, looking to single Lord Lynx's whisker. Or singe Lord Lynx's whisker. Ooh! This is Star. I'm pretty sure Star Stealing Child or something like that. Where, I'm not gonna spoil anything. She couldn't have been much older than 10. I think of it. Shocked, my gaze turned to Kid. A wet glint had appeared in Kid's eyes, but her glare was like ice. It suddenly felt as if the temperature in the room had suddenly dropped below freezing. With a chuckle, the crone continued her story, pretending not to have noticed the change in mood. She was an orphan, you know. Came after the Lynx to avenge a woman who loved her like her own daughter. Oh my god, I'm pretty sure she's talking about Luca, man. But all the vengefulness in the world couldn't change the fact that she was only a little girl. She was no match for Lynx's men, sadly, and they quickly captured her. Lynx is the kind of man who... Lynx is the kind of man one would fear to have an ally, never mind a foe. Hadn't it been for timely assistance of a friend of hers, the girl would have certainly been executed. The way the people of the manor told it, the very shadows pitied the girl and rushed in to spare her away. I wonder how much of a tale could be true. I have nothing but sympathy for those who know failure, of course. You can't win all the time. And sometimes, against all the odds, fate really can be foiled and the clockwork of history sent into disarray. No, the ones I have no patience for are those who do not recognize their failure, or who fail to choose to give up as a result. Crumb looked up from under a hood, stared at Kid directly in the face and grinned. Kid's anger faded away, giving a dumbfounded expression. If you wish to steal the jewel from Lynx, if you truly wish to triumph, you will have to let go of a treasure of your own, Kid. For as long as you cling onto it, the hands of your clock will never move. They will stay exactly where they came to rest all those years ago. Who are you? Oh, me? Why, I'm just an old bag, like you said. I do apologize. I must have taken up a lot of your time with all my babbling. I'll leave you in peace. Oh, but before I go, the crone turned to face me. I'm pretty sure I start selling child. You seem to be enjoying it, man. If you wish, I can take a look at your wounds. With all the intention around turning sun toward me, I panicked a little. Alright then, please do. The crone muttered a few words as her bony fingers drew sigils in the air. A pale, gentle light began to surround my body, filling me with a strange warmth. Strike that light, that's no ordinary spell. Kid was impressed. I felt my wounds healing and heard a nostalgic melody that soothed the wounds in my heart. Before I realized it, the crone was gone. Hey, hey lady! Kid strained her eyes, scanning the darkness, but there was no one to be seen, and her calls went unanswered. Who the bloody hell was that? Kid looked like she was just woken up on the floor laughing of a laughing pig after a few too many. What did she mean by you having to let go of a treasure? Well, if one answer, it's time to move on. McGill brought us back to Earth, emotionless as always. It almost seemed as though nothing had happened at all. Yeah, I guess you're right. Kate walked quickly to the door, keen to move on. Hold it, you two. Just about to follow Kate out of the room, she jammed at me in the side of her elbow. You stingy little bugger, Serge. Why didn't you tell her to share some of the healing magic with us? Classic Kid. Hmm. Actually, let me see that real quick. Let me see. It was, I'm pretty sure it was it. Starred. Oh, never mind. It was Star Stealing Girl. Hmm. I really thought it was Child, but I guess I got it wrong. I got the other one right, but it was Star Stealing Girl. Okay. But yeah, the music, oh my god, it's fucking beautiful. The door led back into the corridor, which stretched off to the left and right. Right where it led to the depths of the manor, while the way to our left led back to the terrace. Oh boy. Uh, let's go to the right. Continuing on down the corridor, we came across a rather strange-looking door on our left. Oh wow. A little further on stood a doorway leaning upward. Well, the door's clearly meant to be something safe, but if there ain't some kind of treasure behind it, me name ain't Kid. Yep, that's the smell of cold hard cash. All right, she muttered to herself. She began to inspect the door more closely. We went inside. Bah, what am I, stupid? Of course it's bloody locked. Kid tried the door to handle a few times before giving it a grumpy kick. Bloody door's got a magic berry on it, and the bloody berry's got a berry of its own to boot. It'll take more than me to put the boot in to get through all that. I see. Then unless we find the key, we don't have a hope of getting inside. Reckon I can handle a key hunt, especially if that's idiot Lynx who's hidden it. If we can find this room, I'll sniff at it in 2 seconds flat. Just you watch. There was nothing more we could do here, so we decided to look elsewhere. Continue on. The corridor ended at the foot of some stairs. With Kid in the lead, we headed upwards. It was dark and the stairwell was narrow. We watched our footing carefully as we climbed. The stone of the steps was worn with age, and I had lost count of how many there were. As we spiraled onward and upward, an awful sense of foreboding haunted me. I had no idea why, but it felt as though we were marching into the gallows. When we arrived at the top of the stairs, we were greeted by an old heavy door looming in the silence. All was deathly silent in the still, clammy air added to the sense of ominous apprehension. Something's very wrong here. I I muttered without thinking. I heard cursed whispers from beyond the door, McGill added, doing nothing to lift the mood. Ah, grow up, will ya? Kid shot back at us deservedly. She was already examining the door. Well, it ain't locked. I don't hear anyone inside. Well, if he hears like cursed things, we might as well go back down. I suggest we check this room at a time. McGill didn't seem keen on going in. What, you want to turn back? Fine, have your way. Kid shrugged grumpily. Strange, she didn't usually care for other people's suggestions when she put her mind to something. Maybe some unconscious part of her could sense something terrible on the other side of the door. Without dwelling any further, we went back down to the stairs from the floor below. Go to continue further back to the terrace. Hmm. Continue back to the terrace. Uh, it's unlocked. Swung open. Any old ladies in here? No, no kindly old dears who know more than laying lurking in the shadows. Come out, whatever you are. Oi, lady, show yourself! The sign spoke volumes. It was a waste of time. Pronounced McGill finally turned on heel, left the old dusty storage room. I think we might have to go through that door, but I saved the game anyway, so... What if... Wait. I went right. What if I go left? After a short walk down the corridor, Terrence came into view. We kept following the corridor. We took the corridor leading from the left-hand side of the terrace, eventually arriving at an intersection with some stairs. The path led down to the stairs, the path led down to a dark passage. Let me save it. Well, I'm gonna save on the second one. Rotate your saves. We're gonna go downstairs. So we crept down the staircase, descending deeper into blackness as we went. At the bottom of the plant split, the way left continued to an adjoining room with some sort of plaza. We're not going to our turn. We took a passageway to the right. We went down the stairs, then took the passage to our right. Eventually, we came across an orient door on the right-hand side. Same door. Something smelled fresh and pleasant flowers, or was it coming inside? Well, let's look inside. Well, at least this one is open. We found ourselves in a tidy, welcoming room. The knickknacks and curios dotted around the place seemed to be well loved. The stately desk and the cozy-looking bed nearby, meanwhile, suggested the room's occupant was no stranger to luxury. Though the room was richly furnished, somehow it still felt awfully lonely. Kid took a quick look around before commenting. It's Lynx's girl's room. A half-written letter on the desk and a teacup still warm suggested that the lady of the manor was still nearby. But it didn't seem that anyone was here now. We decided to search the room. Some charming flowers, a discarded cotton handkerchief, a small bottle of perfume. Nothing that meant to me, nor anything that seemed particularly valuable. Nice way of their character. Kids seemed to have the same impression and scanned the room clearly, not expecting to find anything. The only item of note was a small antique box which bore a crest resembling a viper. I decided to look where next. Uh, pick up the little box. I picked up the small wooden box on the bookshelf. I gently opened it. It was greeted by a soothing melody. A music box? There was something about that song. Oh, shit. This is, fuck. When you get to the 600 AD, I know this tune. Kid was standing next to me, and I could see something had changed in her expression. You do, huh, kid? Someone used to sing it to me a long time ago. She turned her gaze downward and went silent. Kid? Startled, she turned to me. Her eyelashes glistened as wet with dew. She walked to the door, not saying a word. Hey, kid, wait up. We left the room. Was she crying? Was Kid crying? Maybe I was just seeing things. Yep. Passage continued to our left and right. The path to the right led deeper into the darkness of the manor. Meanwhile, going left would take us to the auditorium in another branch. Uh, went down a dark passageway, eventually finding ourselves at a sturdy-looking, immensely polished door. I think we went around again. Something stinks here. I reckon we found the beast's lair, lads. In the darkness, Kid's lips twisted into a grin, and that turned my blood cold. Kid opened the door, stepped inside. Well, let's just see what it is. So yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Like, that was from when you get to like 680, the music playing. Kid opened the door and slipped inside. It was Lynx's room, but he did not seem to be around. Heh, the bug is gone, and Scrapper cause he heard I was coming. There was something deeply unpleasant about the room. There wasn't anything unusual about the furniture and fittings, not how they look or how they made. But taken as a whole, it all felt discordant. I don't know how to pronounce that word. Was it a reflection of Lynx? A seemingly ordinary facade that hid a disturbing only some could see. Right. I bet we'll find the keys to the vault in here, or a clue about where to find it. I started searching through the room. The desk drawers, the painting on the walls, the vase on top of the side table. I left no stone unturned. There didn't seem to be anything suspicious. But I scanned the room. Something unusual caught my eye. There was a pedestal in one corner of a significant-looking scarlet cloth drawn over it. I slowly raised my hand toward it. I carefully pulled the cloth away, revealing a mirror. Nice mirror. It was old-fashioned, in an elaborately decorated style I had seen before, and in it was reflected a statue of Venus. Suddenly the eyes of the statue shone with light. What is your desire? The mirror, it's speaking. Kid and Miguel ran to my side. There's no need for panic. It's a whispering mirror, nothing more. Miguel said flatly. What's one of those? A magical mirror in which a spirit dwells. The spirit can move freely in its own in other mirrors, and will share its wisdom with those who ask. Interesting. What should I ask him? Uh, kids' measurements? Pfft, wow. You can ask about kids' measurements? I don't think she'll like that. You never ever want to do that. Uh, I asked you where the key to the vault was. Do you know where the key to the vault is? The mirror's reflection rippled and changed to reveal a room with numerous bookshelves. A deep sonorous voice spoke. You will find the key in the place I have revealed, the study. It is inside a book with a purple cover in the furthest bookshelf of the room. Okay, I'm pretty sure, pretty sure this is gonna be super important. So, purple cover, furthest bookshelf from the door. But that depends where, to be honest. Like, furthest from the left or furthest from the right? That's the only thing. But we gotta remember, it's a purple cover. Purple, purple, purple. The image of the study vanished from the mirror and the voice went silent. It appears the spirit has left for another mirror. Come to Miguel. To the study then. As I made to leave the room, a low voice rumbled through the air, stopping me dead in my tracks. Beware, he knows. Was it the voice of the mirror again? What did it mean? Hurry up, I'm leaving you behind, Surge! Called a kid from outside. Flustered, I rush after her. I'm pretty sure Lynx probably knows. The corridor stretched beyond the door. We retraced our steps. Suddenly, the kid stopped in her tracks. Something's there. I quickly looked around to see what it was. There was something behind us, or in front of us. Where could it be? And then, just as I was trying to figure it out, the wall began moving. A rectangular section opened up and swung around, revealing two enormous goblins clinging to the back. Like something from one of those stories about assassins sneaking around in old castles. You goblins! Screamed Kid. They definitely look like goblins to me. Maybe a touch on the large side. There are four in total. Two in front of us and two that appear behind us, cutting off our path of escape. Miguel rushed toward the two behind us. Meanwhile, Kid leapt at the two in front, holding her knife in both hands. I drew my knife and rushed to Kid's side. Crash! The spike ball of a goblin's morning star smashed into the ground, crushing the stone flooring. Kid nimbly leapt into the air, evading the attack and landing on the goblin's exposed hand. She swung upward toward the goblin's head, plunging her knife into his left eye. Then she flipped backwards and stood ready for the next attack. That was Kid style. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Muhammad Ali, that's what he said. The next goblin charged in, swinging his morning star toward me. I jumped back to my distance for a moment. I thought about copying Kid's trick, but I didn't have the comic control now. I was better off keeping an eye on my enemy and doing things my own way, though I did wish I could fight like her. You're gonna have to do a lot of training to do that. The goblin pulled the iron ball out of the floor and came at me swinging overhead. I deflected the goblin's driving strike up towards the ceiling, and an almighty blow on my foot. My momentum unbroken, I turned full circle into the air and landed perfectly back on my feet, immediately moving in and thrust my dagger deep into its chest. Kshunk! The blade sank up to the hill. What the hell? I leapt backwards. The goblin grabbed me by the scalp and neck and threw me body across her. 12, and slid unconcernedly to the floor. The wind completely knocked out of me and was still gasping for it, and the creature's enormous crashed unexpectedly to the ground beside me. But if you're gonna do that, why'd you do it sooner? I thought through the pain. I thank Miguel for his timely intervention. Still, if you gutless wonder, Surge, grumbled Kid, business as usual, and resumed since I really did spare. It would have hurt her to offer you her mate just once in a while, only to mix things up a bit. Never grown man, you know I have feelings. As ever, I said only myself, trying to tell her that for real would have been swift route to her own grave and nothing else. So let her words where I hope she do my best to stay strong. Wait a second, what's that? There was a leather bag on the ground. Contains some recently cooked meat. Lucky me. I bit into the meat without moment's hesitation. After devouring the unexpected windfall, I felt a little better. Health restored. Oi, where's my share? Busted. I pretend not to hear. Wow. I was doing great. I felt like nothing could stop me. Maybe you ain't such a drongo after all. Just goes to show any old widow can make something of themselves, they put their mind to it. Kid's eyes glinted with mischief. Eventually, we came across an orient door on the left-hand side. It was Riddell's room, Link's daughter. Ooh. Uh, stay on the second one. Let's go inside. Find ourselves in a tidy and welcoming room, knickknacks. Oh, I went the wrong way. Oh, this is new. A leaf. It seemed like someone had been here only moments ago. Let's come back later. We left this room for now. Good idea. Going right to his Link's room. We might go left, but take us out to me another branch. Fuck. I think I might have to go to the atrium. I saved it anyway. We continued down the corridor until we reached an intersection. There was left a corridor leading to some stairs going upward. The corridor led towards an entrance to a large plaza-like atrium. Nah, I need to avoid the atrium. Way was short. Killing the way we started climbing the narrow staircase, found on the intersection. Taking the corridor to the right leads to a dead end with a large door, while the way to the left to the terrace, a narrow side passage. Hmm. What if we head for the side passage? We headed down the side passage. At the end of it, we came to an old, immensely polished door. Okay. We occasionally push the door and pick to the next thing I know, she slipped inside. Miguel and I followed. And what could it be? Looks like a study. The room was lit by moonlight coming through the long, slender window, shining down in pale beams through the darkness. Oh shit, we found it! Cool. It was pretty big for a study with immensible antique and desk dominating the center. I'm gonna save this on slot 3. I gotta remember this shit. There were rows of bookshelves lined with thick, dusty old tomes. The wall to the rear of the room was decorated with paintings, and shelves of vases and painted plates stood before it. They all seemed to be curios from foreign lands. How do you even a word? Right, let's find this key. Iron feet as always, kid moved into the center of the room. Where'd the mirror say again, Serge? She was asking me. How am I supposed to remember? Oh my god. God damn. Uh-oh. Wait. Purple cover from in the far. Yeah, he said farthest. So, book with a purple cover in the far bookcase. I think it's supposed to be one with a purple cover in the furthest bookcase. Alright, let's see. See what entertainment for a kid made for the case in question. Right, this is the one. Purple cover, purple cover. Aha, this has got to be it. Kid pulled out a book from the bottom shelf. Miguel and I watched as she opened it. The passages were hollowed out, and hidden inside was an old key decorated with strange symbols. Hey, they found it. Nailed it. Nice one, Serge. Kid snatched the key from inside of the book. Right, time to finally get to look at this treasure. Having got what we came for, we left the study. Thank God for that. We made our way back down the dark side passages leading from the study. Eventually, we were right back at the intersection. Some stairs led downward, and the corridor branched left and right branch leading back toward the terrace. Oh boy. Uh, I need to get back to the door. So, let. Well, we're on the second floor. We went up. So, we need to go back down. Continue Auditorium, Sorcerer's Plaza. No, we need to avoid the Auditorium. Go to the right. Down the stairs, passage, and an orient door on the right-hand side. No, that's not it. Okay, I need to find a way to get back. It was Lynx's room. Let out gleam in the darkness with savage anticipation. Well, I mean, we already went to his room. We found the mirror, and the mirror told us like where we find the key. So we don't need to go to like Lynx's room. There's no point. We turned back. Lynx's room. Oh my god! Thank God I fucking saved. What if I went inside? Because I saved the game anyway. Spirit having Lynx? Yelled Kid as she barked at him. What? Is Lynx here? I followed her after panicking. I looked around. No one else but us. Where is he? Kid is standing there, clearly not in danger at all. It was a joke, idiot. Really? Wow. All this strain drained from my body. Thought I was serious, did you? Chuckled Kid, trying not to laugh too hard. I bet you wish you were living an easy life rather than tramping around me, eh? Your face. I ignored her and walked over to the mirror draped with a red silk cloth. Man, that's fucking Kid. Hi there, sorry about all the noise. The statue of Venus in the mirror giggled back at me. That's quite alright, Serge. What is your desire? Came her husky alto. Nothing much. Just thought I'd check up on you since I was here. It must sensations things. Your friends will become envious. She giggled mischievously. You what? Said Kid, her voice completely flat. Would I be envious? Please, there's no need to get upset. I have a gift for you. Oh yeah? Yes. Well, one might call it, you see. I thought you might be interested to see what's like inside the mirror. Wait, so you invited us into real mirrors? Getting something peaked. It won't take much of your time. Come, Kid. Step inside. Mirror rippled like water. Kid reached out her hand toward the glass and hesitated. She delivered for a moment before finally pulling back. You go first, okay? You're a favorite. Are you sure? Kid nodded, filled with excitement. I pressed my hands into the mirror. The surface was like cool water on my fingertips. No, Serge, you mustn't. Suddenly, cracks formed in the glass. I gasped. What's happening? The statue in the mirror was weeping. I wish you weren't so trusting. You forgot I serve Lynx. What? I blurted out. I meant to trap you and your friends. The cracks in the mirror grew bigger, splintering off into more and smaller cracks. And that's not all. I first saw you coming long ago and warned Lynx of it. But why? You were imprisoned here by Lynx, weren't you? The statue of Venus nodded mournfully. He sealed the path of mirrors beyond, preventing me from leaving the mirror. Were someone to shadow all the mirrors within the manor's walls, I would be doomed. I would vanish, separated from my siblings forever. Eventually the statue raised its head, but I cannot stand to be at mercy anymore. The cracks deepened further and shards of glass began to fall to the floor. Stop, I can't let you do this. I yelled, grabbing the mirror frame with both hands. This is what I want. Lynx will not suffer me to live after betraying him, said the image in the mirror looking at me. But why are you trying to help us? Will that be your final question, Serge? Something in his voice felt traits of smile. Very well. The truth is, but just then the mirror finally split from top to bottom. The image's lips moved gently, but no words came. I tried to scream, but I could do little more than whimper. Wow. I took a shard of glass from the floor and gripped it tightly in my hand. Serge? Behind me, Kid was softly calling my name. I gave a slight nod and slowly turned around. Let's go. As he left the room, I turned to look back one last time, my eyes coming to rest on the remains of the mirror. I'd never be able to hear her voice again. Returned again and left the room. Damn. So even though the mirror, like the spirit of the mirror was like a servant to Link's, I'm guessing it was like it didn't want to like serve Link's no more and decided to like like end its life. Damn. It's kind of sad. Okay. Let me save this again. Um, Here we go. Let's go this way. In the corner, there's a dead end with a large door. What if I actually go toward the study now? What if I go to the right? Past the stairs, main corner, found some ornate double doors. Kid gently pushed heavy doors open and peeked inside. Doesn't let anyone in here. It seemed to be in the main hall of the manor. Whoa! Damn, it's cool. There's a massive table, beautiful decorations on the walls, and thick columns decorated with sculptures of birds and beasts. Fixed to the wall in the back tower, tremendous pipes organ like burnished black mountain. Dozens of candles provided a dim flickering light, setting the corridors of the room dancing in and out of shadow. Several enormous portraits glowed down from high on the wall. Are these members of Link's family? Yeah, right. I was busy staring at a painting depicting a young husband and wife when I realized that their eyes had turned to look right at me. Okay, they hadn't. Don't worry, this isn't about to turn into some dumb ghost story. It just looked that way because of the way the flickering light of the candles reflected against the glossy oil paintings. Obviously, probably. This place gives me the creeps. And get a load of all those ugly mugs. There's nothing else for us here. Let's look somewhere else. Didn't Miguel know I know had any objections. We left the hall and returned to the corridor. There's going down a dark side passage. We went to the study. We went straight on back towards the terrace. Okay, let me save this. What if I went straight back on? Terrace came into view. Let's go out to the terrace. We returned to the quiet terrace overlooking the garden, and then uh, talked to Kid. Blimey, Serge, you're a dark horse, ain't ya? You really had me thinking you were just winging it, Sook. There was a mischief glint in Kid's eyes as she rewarded me with a few rare words of praise. At least I thought I caught one. Heh, you ain't seen nothing yet. We should go back inside. We're not here for fun. Reminded McGill. Well, he said that, but you're doing well tonight, Serge. Less green than we first met. What can I see in McGill's face betrayed no emotion, but I thought I could feel the faintest of friendly gazes from beneath the mask. Right, dust yourself off. Let's get moving. We got work to do, said Kid. Back to the entrance. Alright, let's go. Uh, right. Wait, this is the way into the clock tower. Yep. We've already been there already. Wait, upward. This is door clearly meant to keep something safe, but there ain't some kind of chummy Kid. Oh, this is the door. Uh, the key slip. Oh crap! I should have fucking saved. That's fine. This should do it. Kid slipped the key we found into the lock. Lines of magical light flashed across the surface of the door and vanished when various magical berries were dispelled. Up, down, left, right, blue, red, green. Every color under the sun. And it was all quiet, and in darkness, man and morn. Up, down, left, right, blue, red, green. That might be a reminder. You know what? And just in case, because sometimes, like, literally, these things will end up, like, literally, you may not never know. Like, you're gonna probably need to remember this shit. So, come on, stupid computer. So let me see. Up. See. Up. Down. Left. Right. Blue. Red. Green. Just want to make sure. See. Up. Down. Left. Right. Blue. Red. Green. Like I said, might need to know that. Might need to know that. Right, we're in. With a creak, the heavy door gently swung open. As soon as I was inside, I gave a gasp. Kid stepped inside. Whoa! We hit the mother lode! What the hell? Out of the darkness loomed a variable amount of gold, silver, priceless works of art, and exquisite trinkets. Kid looked as she were on the verge of drooling at the sight of it all. But what they would have been? After all, this was the kind of hoard that few people would have ever come across in their lifetime. The smallest fraction of this vast amount of riches would have seen even the most careless spendthrift set for their life. Our goal is the frozen flame. Ignore the rest. McGill spoke with an icy dedication to our mission. Hattie not batted an eyelid at the sight that greeted us. Yeah, I know. She was disappointed, of course, but as soon as she set about scanning the room for the object of her hunt. Wait, is that? Look, on the pedestal over there. I turned to see what Kid was pointing at. Is that the frozen flame? There it was. A small yet perfectly formed jewel that gave off a pale red light. A jewel that looked like a flickering fire suspended in time. The frozen flame! Oh wow. Found it. Suddenly McGill walked toward the pedestal and called out. Wait, you're right. This is Lynx we're dealing with. After all, it may very well be trapped. Wait. Trying to figure out this music. I don't know. I don't think it's not corridors of time. We should be on our guard. I know it's probably one of them, but or it could be like like a music made for this game. We need to be quick about this. But find heavier way. Kid looking away. McGill examined the pencil for a short while, then paused. We were wise to be cautious. Placing his left hand on the base of the pedestal, he muttered an incantation, drawing quick sigils in the air with his right hand. Some glitter appeared in its smooth surface, and for a moment blazed brightly. There, now we can proceed. McGill calmly reached down and grabbed hold of the red jewel. Dun da da da! We got it. Surge and friends obtain the frozen flame. Nice. Phew, we managed to get what we came without anything horrible happening to us. Except that one last time. I breathed a sigh of relief and turned again to McGill. He was staring silently at the jewel in his hands. McGill, we did. Let's get out. Before I could finish, the frozen flame crumbled to dust. This flame was a fake! Lynx must have been keeping the real one somewhere safe. What? Suddenly, a siren rang out. The room was flooded with light, and a metal bar slammed down in front of the door. I turned and gasped to see Kid frozen, an ornate crown in her hands and a wide look of awkward shock on her face. Dun da da! Kid and friends obtained the golden crown too! You're kidding me, right? You had to go and you complete bonehead! I let rip with the stream of choice of insult. In my head, that is. Metallic parrots in the four corners of the room suddenly came to life, clapping their rings and screeching, "Rock! Thieves! Thieves!" We were in trouble. These things are going nowhere, said McGill, inspecting the bars covering the door. Although to look at him, you would have thought there was anything wrong. Which way? Which way? The parents to the vault. To the vault! The vault! I heard voices in the distance. The manor guards were coming. The kid died behind a pile of gold coins. Find somewhere to hide. In a panic, I looked around the room. There was a large chest sitting wide next to the pillar. I rushed to empty it out and plunged in head first, closed the lid. I mean, hopefully that's like the smart way. Captain! Captain! There's no sign of anyone in there. No sign. Strange, peculiar. No one has ever escaped before. None have ever fled the mousetrap's clutches. None! I gently pushed up the lid to the chest and peeked through the gap. There were 5 goblins wearing suits of armor, unlocking the gate and about to make their way inside. One of the goblins looked around the room, jerking his neck as he peered into the shadows. Captain, what if actually it was a mouse this time? Chief was grumbling about the mouses the other day, Captain. A mouse? A rodent? A rat? Would a teeny tiny thing like that really have sprung the trap? Replied a stocky, plump-looking goblin who must have been the captain. He didn't seem convinced. That's when I heard a strange but oddly familiar sound from the corner of the room. Squeak, squeak. It was coming from Kid. Something where Kid was hiding. Startled, the troop of goblins stopped and looked at each other. For a moment, none of them spoke. Eventually, the goblin captain rubbed his chin through his jowls and offered his thoughts. Mouses. I'm sure Chief was complaining about cats. Meow, meow. That voice again. Again. Silence. The goblins only looked at each other. Funny you should say that, Captain. Way I heard it, it weren't mouses or cats. It was a heckran. An awkward silence followed. In my mind's eye, I could see Kid racking her brains to work out what a heckran was. Sounded like another name for a big giant rat. I smell a rat, by which I mean a thief. Following the captain's lead, the guards reached out for their weapons, and then, heck ran a heck-a-ran. Listen, it really is a heck-ran by heck. That proves it. The goblin guards grinned and nodded to each other. Cheeky little devil surprised me there. Let's get out of here, boys. The goblins fled out of the vault. I breathed a sigh of relief. And then they came charging back in again with a mighty roar. There's no such thing as heck-rans. What, you sneaky little bogus? Roared a Kid leaping up from a pile of gold coins. You're the one to talk, thief! Brandishing their weapons made me see the goblins moved slowly forward, forcing Kid into a corner. I quietly eased open the lid of the coffer and slipped out. Can't leave you anywhere, can I? I muttered to myself. I knew Kid could handle herself, but I didn't fancy her odds against a whole troop of heavily armed goblins. For a moment, I wasn't sure to do, but then I made up my mind. I had to save Kid. Right, I had to save Kid. There was no way I was going to abandon a friend in need. Even if it meant facing up a group of 5 goblin guards, I had to find a way to come out on top, I hope. I drew the knife from my belt and leapt into the middle of the room. Hey, snap for brainsies over here! The goblins all turned to look at me at the same time. 10 beady, cruel little eyes all staring daggers at me. Fool in a hurry to die, are we? I gulped and wondered if making a run for it might have been a better plan of action after all. Ah, humans are so stupid. The goblin captain chuckled and licked its teeth. Yep, this one's got a death wish, alright. Why else would he be so stupid as to come after Lord Link's treasure? Ha, that's a first. Being called dumb by a bloody goblin. Trying to tell when you're crying to your mom later on. Judging by Kid's response, she was feeling immensely threatened. And you tell her it was Kid who kicked your teeth in. So you're Kid, are you? The sneaky little slippery little thief we heard so much about. The goblin narrowed his eyes. Yeah, Lord Lynx will be thanking for me from now on till my retirement when I bring him your head on a silver platter. So we gotta battle them. The goblin captain pulled his morning star from his waist and started swinging. You don't know who you're messing with. We ain't no any goblins, sweetheart. We're Lord Link's only guard. The goblins that gobble other goblins. That's right. The Gob Squad. What kind of a name squad is that? Oh, quit shooting your mouth off and let me stick a boot in it. And with that, Kid launched into a lightning fast spinning kick. Her boot connected with the side of Goblin's head with a crack, sending the creature tumbling to the ground. Get him, lads! The boy looks scrawny. Start with him. The goblin captain spun the heavy metal ball of his morning star in the air. Glorious gob strike. Aye aye. The goblins charged across the room in response to their captain's command. Gob striking coming. A goblin rushed toward me, swinging his weapon overhead. I swiftly dodged the attack. Well, I tried to, at least. The morning star slammed to my shoulder with a sickening impact. I arrived at the same time, trying to lose sight of where the next blow might come from. As the spears come back, ain't done what you get. Another goblin hesitated for just a moment, only to be run through by a spear of pure line conjured by Miguel. The goblin let out a blood-curdling howl as electricity coursed through its body. It clutched awkwardly as it chanced where it had been struck. Its face contorted with agony and horror. Miguel came flirting, and his piercing eyes stared coldly at his victim. None who defy me shall escape my wrath. Another goblin flew down from overhead. Bombs away! With a growl, it sent morning stars swinging from above. To make it, the heavy iron block crashed in the air and aimed squarely for my head. Like a fool, I tried to avoid it. Then I was seeing stars. Before I knew it, I was crying on the floor. Sarge, watch yourself! The kid yelled, broke through the pain and clutched him through my head with one hand, staring at my feet. I hesitated far too long. I would die. I wasn't about to let myself die in a place like this. So you gotta choose before it before you can't do nothing. I just pushed at him to attack aside and try to strike back with my knife. Landing a heavy blow right in the goblin's unguarded flank. The goblin's face crumbled in agony. Another goblin hesitated for a moment, only to be run through by a spear of pure light conjured up by Miguel. The goblin let a blood-curdling howl as electricity coursed through his body. It clutched awkwardly at his chest where it had been struck, its face contorted with agony and horror. Miguel's face fluttered and his piercing eyes stared coldly at his victim. None who defied me shall escape my wrath. Put down my head. Bombs away. Grab protagonist, trying for a coming down, trying to engulf him. Bounce, he was seeing someone frog-like body, smashing him first in the ground. It jolted into my body. Goblin rushed toward me from the side. Sit down, attack. Oh, they're just like peanut thing. That's where that came from. Please have mercy. The shrinking goblin had collapsed to the floor, its eyes wide with fear. It says, "Game, Surge, watch yourself, will ya?" And flew down from overhead. Miguel conjured a black wind with surge forth like a shearing tempest. How does a human know a spell like that? Who are you? The goblin was quickly silenced as the rushing winds tore through it and collapsed to the floor with a final shriek. Miguel looked down at his victim with expression of change. Long live more links. Glory to the goblin swan. The final words of the goblin collapsed. That was the last of them. We made it. Besides, like the choice was Surge did. Ha! Piece of cake. Said Kia, putting a brave face on things as she wiped the sweat from her brow with her arm. Then she stopped and looked at me. Surge, what were you thinking, great Drongo? Getting the goblins to come after you like that? You really didn't have to do that, you know? Kate grazed softly, her blue eyes went like a cool glow of the moon. She seemed to be trembling slightly. She looked down at the ground, hiding her face. Thanks, I'll never forget what happened tonight. Even if we go our separate ways, even if we never meet again, never. Then McGill stepped in. Save the chatter for later. We can't waste any more time here. The frozen flame must be somewhere else in the manor. Alright, mate, thanks for stating the obvious. It's not my bloody fault that lynx has made things so bloody difficult for everyone. Kit spun on her heel and made a sulky about face for the door. Suddenly her attention returned to the pile of defeated goblins. This bunch of drungles said they're lynx's gods, right? Better we get some nice loot on them. With that, she started uncriminalously rummaging through the fallen captain's pockets. She looked at Hyena for scraps. Hello, hello, what's this? She found an odd metal plate. It resembled an open hand and it was covered in runes. Reckon this might open some other magic door somewhere. Well, I'll never know when it might come in handy. Either way, finders keepers. The plate vanished into Kit's pocket. Like nothing else hell worth taking unless you count picking and lint in bits of string. She rose to her feet and looked around the room. You know, it's a real shame to leave the rest of all this loot just sitting here unloved. And suppose we can come back for it whenever. Kit turned her face and flashed again. Alright, let's gonna move on. Ain't gonna be a dark forever. The hand-shaped plate is our only clue for now, muttered McGill, seemingly to himself. And with that, we left the vault and searched the real frozen flame. Alright. Staircase. Alright, here it goes. The kid tried to handle the door open with the slow, heavy swing reveal what lay behind. What lay behind, beyond. It was a small cylindrical room that appeared to be the inside of one of the stone towers, completely deserted, and there were no windows. What's supposed to be something about this place gives me the creeps. Still standing in the doorway, kid seemed suddenly taken aback. Something here, let's take a look. Close look at a bloody, empty room. Pah, might as well, I guess. We did climb all the stairs. Kid stared through the door, grumbling under her breath. I scanned the room and then noticed something on the floor. The flagstones were covered in dozens of narrow scratches in places. There were thick black stains. Something in the stain spoke of a horror that no amount of scrubbing will ever wash away. A mouse and a sass beyond imagining. There's something written here. Crouching in front of the wall, Miguel was inspecting some brownish markings that looked more of the same stains. Someone carved letters into the wall and scribbled them using blood magic. Kid had gone over to take a look. Looks pretty old and hard to read too. Sentence one way, let's see. I cannot hold out much longer. My only hope now is to leave an Arcanian signet in this room. The Arcanian signet? Suddenly the door slammed shut. We jumped to our feet with a start. From us we heard an unsettling creaking sound. The walls and floor began to tremble. What the hell's going on? Kid and I started around the room. She desperately tried to figure out what was happening. The creaking sound from above continued descending on me closer. Up there. Spikes. Yep. We walked right into a bloody trap. Kid bit her lip. We gotta do something fast. We don't have time to talk about this. Alright, we need to stop the ceiling now, kid, but how? I had no idea. You're hitting a switch somewhere? Panic, we brushed our hands against the floor and walls and see if anything escaped our notice. When this descending blade stabbed my shoulder, we had to do something fast. Yeah, it's gotta be hitting the door. Panic, we tried dumping the walls so we could find. I saw the unyielding stone. She had a horrible impact and red haze streaked through my eyes. Thank God I saved the game. Wonder if it'll let me continue. Yes, it will. No, not new game. Go back to the launcher. I did not mean to hit new game. Okay, good. Terrace. Okay, we're gonna try this again. Okay. I mean, literally, it's very important to save, man. Blood magic. You gotta let this mode 7 right here. Gale raced toward the door like the wind smashing my throat right. Feeling sound and shook with the impact, but stood firm. So too. I mean, raced my body, but it was no good. Couldn't continue above. I stay at the ceiling and externally journey downward. Maybe matters worse now, countless blades are popping in and out. This is gonna take 3 of us. Timing our blows, we all charge the door at once, twice, and a third time. The door is open and we all collapse in a heap in the corridor outside. What? Then heard the sound of a blade ceiling grinding the stone floor of the tower room. The metallic scraping noise made it was awful. We could only look inside in horror as the fate we so narrowly evaded. Evaded. The machine continued for a while before slowly coming to a stop. It seemed the ceiling champ had finally finished his grisly work. Bugger me, talk about a nasty surprise. Is this some sort of execution chamber? McGill continued, seemed to be deep in thought. In any case, the right mission, Arcaxia. I don't know how to pronounce that damn word. Yeah, what was that all about, I ask? The Arcaxia Dragoons, the elite knightly order serving General Viper, who once governed the territory of Galsburg to the west, formerly knightly order, I should say. They were wiped out more than a decade ago by the lord of this very matter, no less. Thanks for the history lesson, Mag. Kid rose to her feet, panting out the dust. Too bad we're not here for fairy tale nights. Come on, we got a lot more exploring left to do. Maybe I shall silently head back to the stairs. Well, at least we now know some more about that shit. We can't only head downstairs. Went downstairs, continue straight ahead. Eventually close a straight looking door to our right. Further back to the terrace. Okay. Something comes before else. Oh. Terrace. Let's unlock. Oh, this place again. Nah, it's not where we need to go. I think I might have to go to the auditorium, but I really don't want to. Unless I find a way. Let's go right. Boy, hi, that got me a little bit. A scream pierced the darkness, turning my blood eyes. I realized that the pair of crazed blood-red eyes was staring to the depths of my soul. It was a griffin. And I'm trying to try to slip my knife from my belt. Before I could draw a weapon, the gift had spread its power from me and swooped toward me with an almighty screech. I was knocked back and sent rolling across the ground. I gasped with pain as the wind was knocked out of me. Sir, are you okay? Every nerve in my body was screaming pain. I held back the groans and staggered to my feet. I looked up to see the massive griffin in front of me, its hellish red eyes staring down its beak. It was going to attack. What I could do? I almost fell out of reflex. I ducked the attack. The griffin was heading right through the air, plunging toward me. A plane shot through my head. I was finished. With a flashlight of my neck collapsed to the ground. Oh, come on. I mean, literally, dude. At least I saved it. For the Barton Terrace. Wait, is this to the... Yeah, this is the fake Frozen Flame. Direction of Terrace. Was unlocked. Swung slowly open. Trying to retrace my steps here. Okay. I went right. The darkness felt peak. Something like a thick haze floated in the air in front of us. It took form of something blowing smoke into a Persian-shaped bottle. It was robed in a rag shroud and something in its eyes glinted immensely. It was the burning hatred that lingers even after death came to form. A being driven by hatred for only things. A ghost! Bugger, that's us out! Kid bit her lip. There was nothing or anything she or I could do to deal with an enemy that had no physical body. Use magic. down and cast a spell. I jumped behind Miguel, who was behind. Miguel cast me a glance, continuing the incantation about me feet, and grabbed me by the scruff of the neck and threw me at the ghost. I made a strangled scream in horror that I'd probably never be able to repeat again. I tried to brace myself for a crash face first to the wall. But the impact I was expecting never came. The court at the ghost where it's facing to be had more something to the rest of it. I didn't just slip through like I could. I oozed through it like stuck in some time ago. You got to disgusting, more disgusting than anything I ever known. It was possibly cold and drained all the heat right in my body, right in my blood. Like it was draining my life force in that big beat, but I could find no currents of buoy I could fight. It became more and more intense, and soon I didn't even know what cold meant anymore. This could be it for me. I thought I was consumed by despair. And then there was a surge of heat through the muscles of my neck. The place where Gil had grabbed me just a moment before. At the same time, the incantation echoed in my mind, and my vision was filled with a clear blue light. Surge. Oh, I sorry, you're still with this, mate? Someone was slapping me around the face. Someone who seemed to be enjoying it immensely. Kids, stop it, damn you! I leapt to my feet, wide awake again in an instant. Well, battle was won. Man, did you really have to use me like that? When dealing with foes who attack the mind, it is simplest to lure them in with bait, then use their intended prey's consciousness as a conduit in order to make an assault from the astral plane. A direct match attack would have meant a lengthy battle, a far less elegant situation. He replied without a trace of guilt. Well, that's pretty smart. Poor Serge. Alright, let's keep moving. Kick in order to continue seeming completely oblivious to my brush with death. I was a mess. My body was screaming in pain. I felt like I might pass out any moment. If I took more punishment from Lisa's minions, my night was going to be over pretty soon. Not bad, Serge. Not bad at all. Didn't know you had it in ya. There was a mischievous glint in Kid's eyes as she rewarded me with a few rare words of praise. I mean, couldn't he like at least pack some potions or something? We're still leaning upward. It's see in the middle one. Went inside. Oh, pff. Just go stairs upwards. That literally just sent me back to the same fake frozen flame room again. The darkness, just a regular door. You still want to go in there, Serge? Hey, feel free. Buying the moon to get squashed flat and ground and gristled. Then she took carefully look around and leaned in. Don't tell me that torture stuff isn't your thing, is it? I sighed and slumped my shoulders. Okay, so that ain't it. Okay, so that's the door with the fake one. Terrence. Okay, went inside. It was unlocked. Oh my god. I need to find out where the hell does that damn, like, stone go for? Let's go left. Can't find the corridor. He's searching some stairs. Okay, let me save around here. Um, toward the study. The study. Well, maybe they could be sitting here, so let's just check. Let the room chase our steps. Left branch in the main hall. Coast is clear. We step into the main hall. Oh, this is the same room again. Same things again. It looked that way because I have flickering the light candles, definitely. Let's go down the stairs. You know what? Fuck it. I'm like literally trying to like find out like where the hell do I go? So I'm gonna go back here. Kid poked her head through the arch-shaped door and took a look around. It's big in here. Must be some kind of hall. We took a cautious look around, then entered one after another. Okay, here we go. I gotta do this one correct. The auditorium was a beautiful plaza, fountain, pillars. I mean, I already read this already. It's like literally, I'm not gonna lie. You have to literally like memorize like where you're going and literally like know which way you're going. You know, literally, this is a visual novel. There ain't no fucking member nothing. You gotta like memor, like where to go, which path leads to what, and know like okay, they tell you to go this way and that way, so that way you know which way to go to continue on. The last time I did this one, well, it was a bad end. So I gotta find like another way. So facing them is a no. Besides, anyway, I saved it anyway. Wait, Skywaters look entrance, but the cell's bell was broken. We realize the water. Okay, yeah. And we splashed the water back. Okay. Okay. That was a close call. So the whole thing was a trap, eh? Talk about twisting. Lynx is even more of a sick bastard than I thought. I was about to say he wouldn't have to be if he didn't have to guard against people like her bringing to his home, but I thought better of it. Well, anyway, I think we consider that a dead end. Let's go back. Okay. Defeated, we left the atrium. Okay, so now the atrium is like literally dead end. Something caused Kiss to stop in her tracks. Hello, hello, what do we have here? She points to the side of the entranceway to the hall. I found myself face to face with a sculpture of an old man's face with a truly phenomenal beard. Arr. The sculpture's eyes seemed to gleam with life for a piece of marble. It seemed almost too realistic. I'm gonna save here. It's a mouth of truth, announced McGill. Wow, mouth of truth? Huh, isn't it kind of like funny though? Because I know in Animal Crossing, the first one, you do actually get an art piece called the mouth of truth. And when you like touch it, it makes like an evil like face and your character like does the shock emote. An enchanted statue that can tell when you're lying. If it catches you out, it'll bite your hand off. Wow. Miguel kept his explanation simple so a kid wouldn't drift off before he got to the important part. Huh, so what's it doing here then? I suspect it's part of a greater mechanism. Stick your hand in its gob, do ya? Righto, let's see what happens, shall we? With a mischievous gleam in her eye, Kid darted over and stuck her hand in his mouth without a moment's hesitation. She stood there for a moment waiting, but it did not take long for her to get bored. Huh, nothing. Suddenly, I had an idea. Hey kid, who's the greatest thief who ever lived? Ha! Me, of course, you're drunk. Kid answered without a moment's hesitation, and then suddenly her face twisted with pain. The teeth of the marble sculpture had clamped down her hand. It bit me! Knock it off. Everyone knows this is the true owl. The sculpture bit her again as soon as she spoke. You little... A cold sweat formed on Kid's forehead. The sculpture was tightened in its grip. Let go until you say something true. Despite the obvious urgency of the situation, Miguel was as a matter of fact ever. Just say anything, kid. Anything as long as it's the truth. Obviously, Kid wasn't listening, so she kicked the awkwardly at statue. Oi, beauty! Let go me bloody hand! She planted her feet either side of its mouth and tried her hardest to pull her out. She heaved, kicked, and stamped, grunted, and strained. And then finally, her hand popped free. I was taken aback by what I just witnessed and I couldn't say a word. See? Told you it's the truth. Kid raised her hand near trembling as if to demonstrate I could see heavy bite marks. The sculpture hadn't come away from the struggle unscathed either. Kid's attempt to break free had left it crack in several pieces. Miguel pointed silently at it. I went to take a closer look and saw a pale, flesh-covered tongue. I expected we were supposed to put something in there, coming to McGill. Something what exactly, I replied. Just looked for me in less than thought. She's starting a little older knick-knack she'd been carrying. It was a strange collection of odds and ends pulled out from her pockets, her boots in from her braid. Alright, sir, now your turn to have a go at that stupid statue. Kid grinned at me, holding her assortment of knickknacks out in the palms of both hands. I guess she decided that whatever further horrors the statue had in store, she's trying to face on herself. Nice, kid, real nice. Grown to myself, I reached out to pick an item. I chose a small silver mirror, a file, a centipede, a stoop. Oh boy. The hand-shaped plate. I took the hand-shaped plate we found. After taking a look at the ruins, I was no longer to. I was no closer to working out what that might mean. It was an. I set the plane to the mouth of the truth, Marvel's Ma. As soon as I did so, its eyes rolled upward and the wall gave a light judder. A low rumbling sound came from the sculpture's mouth. This indeed is the ultimate truth of the universe. Did you hear something? Yeah. I watched them mouth for truth and confusion. Its great marble tongue rolled out, almost like a snake. It coiled around the plate, seized it, and pulled it deep inside. What's going on? In a panic, I looked to McGill for answers. Seems the ineffable truth of the universe has left even the mouth of truth tongue-tied. McGill answered in his unusual deadpan manner. I think he might have been trying to make a joke. Hang on. So the plate thing revealed the truth of the universe? And and you went and crammed it down the Beardy's gullet? Do you realize how much we could have sold that for? Kit kicked the floor in frustration and snapped her fingers. And then drains on all sides of the room suddenly opened wide. The red water formed eddies as it sank away. Helpless, the parent to wash away with the current. Soon only trickles of water were left, slowly dripping away. Well, that is stroke of luck, ain't it? Guess we won't be sleeping with the fishes tonight, grinned Kid, looking at the empty pool. We crossed the drain room, making for the exit on the other side and pressed on. Thank God we managed to get that shit. Alright, making progress. Alright, I'm gonna save on file 3. We went through the auditorium and continued down the corridor before finding ourselves at a fork in the road. The corridor stretched off left and right. Okay, so this is new. Uh, let's go to the right. We continued down the dank corridor until stairs leading downward and finally came into view. Let's go down the stairs. Cut down the staircase. An intersection. Let's take the left path. Okay, down the corridor. Large door covered in scratches and other odd marks. Okay, so this is a new door. Above the door was a wooden plate. It bore the legend guard room elaborate calligraphy. Well, guards are one thing we definitely don't want now. Come on, let's do one. We kid around who knew what kind of mess we were about to get into. Maybe we surge around who knows what kind of traps we're about to walk into. What a trusting relationship we enjoyed. Let's turn back for Nora. Lean back to the corridor. Okay, so that door is a no-no. Alright, staircase pressed on. A small door. Get with that, something smells good. Let's go inside. Whoa, light. We open the door. Blimey, this is a small kitchen. That is a fucking small kitchen. Must be for the servants. Coming in, McGill. I scanned the surroundings. There's a rat in a cage, a basin for washing dishes, cooking utensils, some food made ready for tomorrow, and a mouse trap. It's a contraption. It's mouse trap. It looked like any other commoner's kitchen. Kid walked over to a large part filled with food and peered inside. Well, it's tomorrow's lunch. Want to try some Sergey? Or Surge? Timidly I peered into the pot. It looked like stew. It didn't smell bad at all. Almost divine. I scooped some and laid and brought it to my mouth. Gulp. It was delicious. Stuff's delicious. You should grab, poor kid. I urged between bites. Kid was looking at me again, staring at me and telling me, in fact, like she was searching for something. Well, you ain't going green or nothing. Get it safe. Alright, let's have a try. She licked her lips with anticipation and swooped my spoon right in my hand. Fancy taste, Meg? No. Kid grabbed a bowl from nearby and began spilling out more. I did the same. We ate our fill. The stew was still warm, and it felt as though magic of fresh home cooking was easing my wounds somehow. Suddenly a little voice rang out. You there, the young man with the braid. Give me a second. You there, the young kid froze. Oi, who you calling bloke? Kid barked angrily in the direction the voice was coming from. Give me a second. A mouse was looking at us with eyes like saucers from inside of a mouse trap hanging from the wall in the corner of a room. Oh, I'm sorry. You're a young lady, I see. The mouse bowed its head in apology. Please be kind, young lady. You must hear me out. The mouse put its paws together and stared pleadingly at Kid. I left the nest to find food for my mother, but as you can see, I managed to get myself caught in a trap. Aw, poor mouse. If you leave me here, I will surely be eating my goblins. Sorry. Kid eyed the little creature suspiciously, eaten by goblins. Wait, that's stew. The mouse put its paws together and stared pleadingly at Kid. I left the nest to find food for my mother, but as you can see, I managed to catch myself in a trap. You leave me here, I'll surely be eating my goblins. Kid eyed the little creature suspiciously. Eaten by goblins? Wait, that's stew. Putting two together, Kid ran for the sink. Ew, rat soup. I beg of you, please free me from the trap. Ah, that's sick. We did not know. My mother is sick. She's terribly worried about what has become of me. The mouse was clearly begging for its life, but there was also an odd little glint in its eye. Meanwhile, Kid was at the sink. Blah. I mean, everybody would fucking would. Literally, anybody would. Like, I mean, not unless like they know, not unless they know that like, hey, this is actually pretty good. Until all of a sudden they find out, like, oh, I don't know, maybe they find out like a fucking recipe book, and then like they find out, okay, look, this is the recipe for the food we ate. Or try it out. Okay, let's see. Blah 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 blah. Huh, that's a funny word. What is it? And someone says like, oh, it's practically this right here. And like, oh, you're kidding, right? And he goes like, oh no, that's really what it is. And then they look at the food that they ate, and all of a sudden it's like, Oh god, where's the sink? Oh god, that's funny shit. Ugh. I'm never gonna get the taste out of my mouth. I'll be buggered if I'm hanging around here any longer. Kid had returned from the sink only to stamp out toward the door. She was looking very green around the gills. Kindly young lady, I don't suppose you can free me first. You got yourself into this mess. You can sort it out yourself. Kid all but spat on the ground as she left the room. The mouse's eyes welled up as it looked to me. Young man, please, you're my only hope. Uh, Save it here. I'll save it to file one. I free the mouse. God, fine. Unable to bear it staring at me anyone with pleading eyes, I lift down the cage and open the door. The mouse bounded happily out from inside. Yeah, the mouse gave a weird chuckle. You poor naive fool. Sent me again to balloon massively in size. Oi, Surge! What are you doing? Kid stopped in horror the moment she opened the door. Look at me, a griffin! An enormous creature stared baffledly down at us. Idiot humans! I'm gonna say for yours will be when she sees what I've done to you. Good going, Surge, you bloody inability you are. Oof. Okay, I made a mistake, but she didn't have to rub it in like that. The griffin gave an almighty cry and leapt right at us. His very sharp talons sliced through the air. Caught off guard trying best to attack. The blow never came as the griffin suddenly lost his balance and he crashed to the ground. Oh, bother, I'm too hungry to fight properly. What on earth? I breathe a sigh of relief, running a hand down my chest. Alright, little mouse. Now it's time for a real show to begin. Kid walked up to the griffin, cracking her knuckles. Gulp. Please, kindly, this is all a misunderstanding. A terrible misunderstanding. Panicking, the creature leapt to its feet. You can't kill me. I have useful information. If you let me go, I'll promise to tell you everything I know. Everything. Yeah, I know how much of a promise like the likes you is worth. Kid took another step toward the griffin, not skipping a beat. Rack, please. Kid kept on coming. The griffin kept on shrieking away. Enough! Miguel called for Kid to stop. Let's hear it. Oh, thank you, kind sir. The griffin was beside itself with relief. Spoil my fun, why don't you? Grumbled Kid, pouting as she turned away. Listen well, O merciful Savior. Right whoa, hold up. Right thrice, left twice, right twice. Should you find yourself trapped in one of these swirling snares, remember my words. Write it down. Let's see. Right. Shit. Right. I'm just putting 2x. Left. 2x. Right. Oh no, shit. Thrice is 3. So 3 times. Left 2 times. Right twice. Should remember words chapter link swirling snares and memory words. Okay, so right 3 times, left 2 times, and right 2 times. Okay. So right 3, left 2, right 2. Yeah, thrice. Yeah, thrice is 3, right? I need to confirm. Does thrice mean 3? I mean, I just want to know your plan. So yes, it is. Thrice happens 3. Yeah, it's 3. Okay. With that, the griffin returned to its mouse-like form, and disappeared into a small hole in the wall. Okay, so right 3 times, left 2 times, right 2 times. Trap and leak snares. As if I'd be thick enough to walk into one of his traps. Let's get out of here. We're wasting our time running. Kid turned on her heel and made for the door. We left the kitchen. Okay, at least we got some info, so that's good. How about bluff? Hmm. Well, if it drink, let's just check. Then we did solve the puzzle, for God's sakes. An exit leads to Link's and Realdel's room, gaped ominously from across the cavernous space. Oh god, the ghost again. Bright light. Continue. Sometime like on your own knickknacks, curious. Where'd you finish? I'm awfully lonely. Okay. Oh man, now I need to go back. Like literally. Let's go left. I have another bloody door. The magic side. Music tells me any treasure comes back to us. You examine the door. I suspect that this is the mayor's dungeon. Replied McGill. His eyes closed in concentration. I can hear the sound of someone mowing in the darkness on the other side, but there's something we could do, and this is of little concern of us. Let's turn back. When we get into the door, we trace our steps back to the corridor. Kid stopped in her tracks, stealing us with a hand behind her back. She threw her knife and stared in the darkness, clicking a militant just behind goblin guards. It wasn't like to be anyone else for a nightmare stroll around the manor wearing armor. She ready pretty quickly and Joe and I prepared a firefight. Give me a sideways glance. You know something, you're starting to look like a real thief. Now you just need to walk the walk. Alright, Surge. McGill, let's get him. One counters are. It's like she thought nothing could go wrong. I told her no ordinary goblins hadn't been well looked at this potential manor. One bigger than kill. Carrying manor goblins chain mark. One strike system of a rod. A heavy spike guarding ball on a chain. Is it a flail? I remember. I didn't have think much more of it. Now the kid rushed at me, swinging his ball crashed into the stone tile, staying on before crushing it. I wide open looking to escape. Tony tried to drop my neck to chest. Only stabbed it squarely in the gut. I would click or pull it out before I could. The creature had grabbed my arm, speaking bit. See it glaring at me with a magnet in his face. Making Jim silent. Kid, help me get help. Cell dissipated fresh shot was all I got from Charles. Something else clung to his side. Crashed to the wall. The impact knocked it away at me. I reacted. Heavy kick smashed into my side. Flying slammed to the ground, rolling the impact. A splatter of blood on the floor. There was a roar. Goblins started running. Paralyzed me. Tried to scare any ball I could. Managed with some croak. Didn't watch my left and right. The little creature crashed down on top of Goblin's head from out of nowhere. Two quick stabs put out the B sign from the figure of the man and grabbed me and rolled him into one outside. Blind gun and kept running right past us and way down the corridor. Could have been gone far before a fireball raced by me, engulfed in a blazing flame. The kid who saved me, she glared at me with a harsh look in her eye, bonk, and then she dumped me on the head. When I told you about running away all the time, Surge. When I told you about making other people do your dirty work, that's when you get too bloody scared for doing fine for yourself. Like anyone looking for yourself. You run away, you're good, so yourself dead. You got that? I not briefly. Ugh, I was a mess. My body was screaming in pain. I felt like I might pass out any moment. But too much punishment. Same thing. Moving down the dark corridor, came down a branching path. Going to show you this, going down some stairs. On marks. Someone plate. Well, I'll work in this way. We find the key to this door upstairs. No getting past that bloody magic bear about it. Kid pressed her against the door and scared me. Doesn't sound like anyone's in there, she whispered. Well, she don't hear no one. Then it's okay going. The room, kid opened the door. The room seemed completely silent from the outside, and so we thought it would be empty, but there inside was a lone goblin. It was sitting in a chair with a book in its hand. A light steam drifted from the teacup in front of it and went through a delicate aroma. The goblin peered curiously over its spectacles. There was something different about this one. I could tell much about its glance. Heavens, how rare it is to have yes. Heavens! How well spoken for a goblin. I can only feel dread and suspicion at the sight of him nonetheless. Sorry, mate, but we're not your guests. Cough up the key to the dungeon if you want to live. Kid slammed her knife into the table to illustrate her point. But the goblin didn't so much as flinch. Ah, you must be Kid. What a pleasure this is. I have always wanted to meet you. Why are you even so ravishing in the rumors? But before the goblin could finish, Kid's knife flew through the air. With a quick flick of his wrist, the goblin caught the blade with the back of his book, a mere inch from its face. I see that your approach is as radical as the name in your merry band would suggest, the goblin said. Pulling the knife free and handing it back to the kid, she took it without word. But her gaze had changed. She was like a cat, cautiously studying its prey. And I was just getting to the good part too. Ah, well, I suppose I have to give it up. I suppose I shall have to give it up on never finishing it now. The goblin casually flung the book over his shoulder in nearby bin. Allow me to introduce me. I am Grismeld, and I'm the guard on watch. No need to stand, please. Do take a seat. You're welcome to tea, of course. The goblin begged us to sit down. Did he mean to poison us? If I may. Miguel calmly took a seat, ignoring the obvious suspicion in the air. Confused how at home Miguel seemed, I looked at the kid. She remained where she stood, seemingly unsure what to make of the goblin, but apparently quite sure she wasn't going to sit down. I decided to stay standing as well. Goblin poured 3 cups of tea. Here you are. About the size of sanitation, Miguel took his tea and lifted it to his lips. He slipped and placed the cup back onto its saucer. Himalayan tea. Not a blend I expect to find here. What a pleasure as a kind of fellow connoisseur. Yes, it is a rare blend, and one mainly enjoyed by noble classes. I couldn't believe the conversation I was hearing, but I also couldn't help wondering what this rare tea might taste like. My eyes rested on the cup that had been poured for me. I took a seat and picked up the teacup. This is great, I blurted out. I never had such a delicious brew in my entire life. My aches and pains fade away. I glanced over at Kid, who was blowing maniacally at the liquid in her cup. I'd forgotten that she was paranoid about burning her mouth on things. Now, comfortable. Let's get down to the brass tacks, as they say. I do intend to have the key to the dungeon, as you surmise, but you'll also have to be aware that I cannot simply give it away. I glanced over to Kid again. Typical, she wasn't listening to what Grismeld was saying. She was still huffing and puffing at her tea. It seemed it would be up to me to respond. Here's our offer. Give us the key, and you get to leave. Suppose it means you want something in return. You like to know what I want? I want your heads. Or rather, I'm sure that's what my employer would like me to say, but no. I have no such barbarian aspirations. Furthermore, I doubt I'd be matched for you. Griswold chuckled as he said this. What I live for is the joy of conversation, which I fear my compatriots are ill-equipped to supply. Perhaps you might have one or two ripping yarns to share? Grinning he added, I'm sure notorious thieves such as yourself must have more than a few thrilling tales up your sleeves. So he wanted to hear a story. That seemed a more than fair price to pay for a key. I closed my eyes and thought, I know just the story. How did it begin? One night, a young girl was walking alone in the forest, and then she was searching for a golden flower, cure for her mother's sickness. Then she walked in, but the sunflower was nowhere to be found. The fragments I remember seemed about right. There was only one way the story can end. I took a breath and began my tale. One night, a young girl was walking alone in the forest. She was searching for a golden flower, the only way to cure her sick mother's illness. She walked and walked, but the sunflower was nowhere to be found. And then in a moment of deepest, darkest despair, she saw a brilliant light. It was none other than the golden sunflower she sought. The young girl gratefully pocketed the sunflower seeds. These will surely save my mother, she thought. She rushed home to give them to her, and her dear mother was hale and hearty once more within days, and they all lived happily ever after. That was beautiful, poor kid, wiping a tear from her eye. No, it was short. Another frown. Not quite what I was expecting, and not most certain tales, but I suppose it will do. The key, as promised, I took it from Grismill's hand. Something didn't seem right, though. Was he really going to give it up so easily? And was it really alright to trust such a strange goblin? Grismill seemed to notice my suspicion. He leaned back into his chair, looking at the ceiling. When I was a young, a braver, sturdier goblin, I once served General Viper, who was lord of this manor, until he was betrayed by Lord Lynx. Despite my boorishness, Lady Riddell was always saw something in me worthy of praise. Wait, Riddell? What's Lynx's adopted daughter got to do with anything? Oh, you didn't know? Riddell's real father was none other than General Viper himself. What? Lord Nick spared Lady Riddell's life so as not to snuff out that of the frozen flame. He has an uncanny stone, you see, has a life of its own and some kind of spiritual bond with Lady Riddell. If only there was some way that could free Milady from this matter. Alas, I'm alone and powerless to do any such thing. Of course, I will have no problems if, say, you were the trouble to usurper. I assume you tend to slay the beast, I mean. It was strange inquiry to make so casually. Well, it comes to it. I was more than a little taken back at the directness of Griswold's question. I expected to find one of Link's own cards asking me something like that. Suddenly, I was shoved aside. Not if it comes to it. We're gonna kill him tonight and kill him good. It was Kid, of course. And in exchange, I'll have some more of that tea that I'll take with us. Kid held at him before Griswold called out for an answer. I suppose I have a bag I can share. Griswold shuffled awkwardly in his seat as he retreated. As ever, I'm impressed how Kid's uncompromising attitude and willingness to speak to her mind seemed to always get her what she wanted. Bonza, sit tight and leave the rest of us, mate. Stowing the bag in her pocket, Kid took the job. You can trust me, I'm a girl of me world. That might have been the biggest lie she ever told. Right, let's get a move on. She made for the door with the spring in her step. We left for the room, and Griswold behind. Okay, so he wants us to kill Lynx, Lord Lynx. Because technically, Riddell is actually the daughter of General Viper. So, we got the key. Now I have to make my way to the dungeon. If I can fucking find it. Press on toward the kitchen. Oh my god, I gotta find out where the hell it's at. It's the top. Yeah, toward the cell. This is the key we got. That creepy old goblin should do the trick. Kid slipped the key into the lock. The heavy door groaned slightly as it slowly swung open. Swung quick, then slow. Climbing air rose up from around her feet as if crawling blindly through the darkness. This didn't seem like the kind of place anyone in their right mind would visit voluntarily. So, see anyone here? Anyone? We pushed the heavy iron door with the rest of the way open and stepped into the darkness. Wow, it's almost like the dungeon that Chrono was in at the beginning of the game. Well, sounds like it. There was a row of cells all locked behind iron bars. 1, 2. Oh, Gulliver, Mick, Hit, Soren, please forgive me, please forgive me. Hold on, whoa. Oh, Zornda, Melgit, Gulliver? Wait, those are the characters that appear. Well, I know Zornda is. Fuck. Could be like maybe a sheer coincidence or not. Zornda, fuck. It's the same name as that one person who has that like helmet and literally just yells and shit. So maybe just maybe, but Melia and Gulliver, I think they're probably guards. We heard a voice from the third cell whimpering and crying pathetically. I strained my eyes to look inside. Failing in the darkness, I could see something that looked like a man sitting on the floor. So there was a source of the voice. Oh, this is the source of the voice. Oh, you alright, mate? Kid caught up to the figure. Forgive me, it's all my fault, The dragoons never deserved this. Oh, wow. We just know about this shit. General, Lady Riddell, oh, forgive me, I beg of you. The old man didn't seem to respond to us at all. He only sat facing the wall begging forgiveness for who knew what. Hello, can you hear me? Asked Kid, trying again. There was no getting through to him, his real self. I have long since retreated inside the shell he has curated. Samuel cut her off. Shell? What do you mean? He has built a shell around the core of his psyche in order to shield himself from the truth. He is running from something terrible. Something terrible. He has seen something or been through something or has done something. So he has created his own world inside as a final refuge. The outside world lost him forevermore. Like to Miguel in surprise, he had detected a hint of unspoken sadness in his words, and for some reason he was looking at Kid. Much longer she stared at the man in the cell. Seeming to notice my gaze, Miguel turned back to face me, assuming his unusual emotionless expression once more. We live in a world of sorrow and foolishness. It's only natural that some would try to escape it. But despite his hard words, his eyes retained a certain softness, his steely gaze given way to a gentle light. Do you understand? I think so. I have a slightly evasive answer. You seem confused. I don't blame you. You'll come to understand eventually. Miguel looked at me and Kid. What was that all about? I wondered. We're not gonna get much out of him. He's miles away. Let's just leave him and try it someplace else. Kid made for the door of the dungeon. Wait, called Miguel. We must find a way to get this man to speak. What for? I mean, he's speaking already, just none of it makes sense. What are you after? Some things he said piqued my curiosity. He mentioned the dragoons. Only dragoons I know is from Final Fantasy. And Riddell too. So, you said the dragoons are ancient history, snapped Kid. Besides, how can we trust anything he says? He's clearly gone off his rocker. She had a point. The old man had long since cut his ties to the real world. What did Miguel expect him to say? Without missing a beat, Miguel replied, we simply have to bring it back to reality. And how are we going to do that? You want me to do a little dance for him or something? If that gets his motor going? Please don't. No, please don't do that. Unless she wants to. I'm pretty sure she won't. The words were out of my mouth before I could stop them. What are you saying? His eyes nodded threateningly. You don't think anyone would want to see me dance? Is that yet? What? No, I completely the opposite. And actually, ignore me. Nah, this should be good. Enlighten me, why don't you? He's right, it won't work. And just like that, Kid's fist was flying toward Miguel's face instead of mine. He dodged the blow of knees and carried on as if nothing happened. We must break through the shell he has created and drag him back to the real world. In order to do that, we'll need some kind of key. Something that will reach him even through the barrier he's erected. Yeah? And when we're gonna find this key? Asked Kid suspiciously. I don't know. But there is someone in this matter who can tell us. You don't mean... You're not talking about Riddell, are you? I am. Alright, fine. Don't know what the heck to expect her to tell us though. Kid turned on her heel and made for the door. We left the gibbering old man in the dungeon along with the sorrow. Okay, so we found the old man and now we need to find Riddell. I said corridor. Came branch path. So okay, let me save it here. So this is all man safe. Go to the atrium. Then we need to find Riddell. So basically, it could be in Riddell's room. Celine to looks in Riddell's rooms. Yes, continue on. Continue path. Door. It's Riddell's room. I doubt she's in here. Is someone there? Came the voice of a young woman, and we shrank into the shadows. There's Riddell. The woman appeared from deeper within the room. She was lightly made up and had a gentle, unthreatening air about her. It was Link's daughter. Wrong. It's General Viper's daughter. Strange. I'm sure I heard someone. I was at a loss to do it for a moment. Before I had time to do much more than hold my breath, Kid had already dodged over. Goddamn. And thrust her knife out, stopping the blade only by a hair's breadth from the woman's neck. Where's the frozen flame? Answer me! Her voice came out in a harsh growl. I rushed to hold Kid back before she hurt the poor woman. Kid, do we really have to do it this way? Shut your trap, Surge! Riddell couldn't help but giggle as she watched us bickering. What are you laughing at? Kid shot Riddell with a harsh look. It's just, you don't seem like thieves at all. You little, you want me to cut you, girl? I'd be surprised that knife could cut anything. For a moment, I felt faint, managing Riddell on the floor covered in blood. But then, clang! Kid had thrown her knife to the floor, and I saw it was only a letter opener. Didn't think you noticed. Whatever. I'm not here to mess with around killing the likes of you anyway. I have no desire for bloodshed either, said Riddell, in a voice that almost had a whisper. I am not your enemy. In fact, I want to help you. There wasn't a hint of hesitation or deception in her voice. Let me guess. You're a tramp in the manor too? Riddell only lowered her eyes sadly in response to Kid's question. The frozen flame should never have been allowed to fall into Link's hands. Riddell spoke quietly, but deep emotion clearly underpinned her words. The flame was once the property of an ancient kingdom to the north, who kept it for generations. It was said to have the uncanny power to guide people and change history itself. After the kingdom fell, the flame changed hands countless times until eventually it came into my father's possession. That was before I was born. Sometime later, Lynx became unaware of the flame's true value and approached my father under false pretenses and friendship. Now the soul suspected what his true intentions were. And then, on a horrible day, he destroyed everything. He killed everything. Riddell shook her head, then buried her face in her hands. I don't care about the frozen flame. I don't care about that stupid accursed stone. It means nothing to me. I just want to take it away from Lynx and smash it to pieces right in front of him. And only we can make that happen. Riddell looked up as surprised as Miguel spoke. No one else in the world can seize that jewel from Lynx. Riddell stared speechlessly. And then in a low voice she whispered, what can I do to help you? There's a survivor of the I'll just say of the Dragoons for now, because I can't say that damn word. In the dungeon who we want to help. And if we're to help him, we need your help, said Miguel, taking a step forward. What? That man? That man is a traitor. It's because of him that father, that Zoranda. Please, it's the only way. Riddell turned her back to us and hung her head low. Wow, we finally get to see her. The Chamber of Death. There might be something to bring him back to his senses there. After all, it was there that he chose to abandon his pride, his life. I assume the chamber of death must be the cell with the trap ceiling. Wait a minute! Trap ceiling, that's the one with the spiky trap. We were in that one. And that's where we found the markings. Riddell nodded. Yeah, that's gonna be a problem. That thing damn near killed us last time. You will need to take... Wait, you will need to take the Einlanzer with you. It is a sacred sword said to have been forged by an ancient sage, and a sister blade to the crimson curse Masamune. Oh, wow. Frog's weapon? Oh, shit. The timeless blessings of the Einlanzer will surely keep you safe from the chamber of death's wickedness. It is used to be such a sight to see it in the hands of Zornda. It danced like the wind, shone like the stars, and struck like lightning. Lost again in memories of fonder times, Riddell once more bowed her head. Forgive me, I have little more to tell you. You told us more than enough. We will take our leave now, said Miguel, trying to make it for the door. I wish I had the strength to change things like you do, whispered Riddell, biting her lip. Kid hesitated for a moment, seemingly deep in thought. It ain't about strength. It's about having purpose, something to fight for. I will be praying for you. Kid shot Riddell, look over her shoulder. Great. Maybe you can cross your fingers too. We left their room. Okay, so, um, we had to head for the Chamber of Death. Uh, can't go to the links room because there's nothing there. Leading upward. Not the study. Follow the corridor. Way into the clock tower. There it is. Our ticket. Our ticket to not gain to turn in mincemeat. The ancient sword is right there where Kid had left it after pulling it from a pile of junk. She ran over to where it lay. Oh wow, this is where we're supposed to go first. Wow. Looking down at the sword, McGill muttered, "Two ancient blades, the sacred Einlanzer and the cursed Masamune." What are you on about, Mag? You know something about this Master Mune? Listen, nothing. Well, it seems to me nothing. Something. Well, it seems to me nothing. Something to ya. Means something to ya. It does. Something to do with old friends I don't know about. Exactly. An enemy then? Not exactly. You're being weird, Mag. Well, whatever. Oi, well, whatever. Oi, numb nuts. Grab this thing for me, will ya? I was still standing by the door when Kid called me over. Who, me? Yeah, you. Are you gonna make me load the bloody thing around the place? I'm just going to grill, ain't I? Call yourself a gentleman. It was our dream was Kid only a scrawny little girl, I wondered. Suddenly my thoughts were ignored by a spinning kick to the chops. Gah, my body flipped over and the air sparks flew behind my eyes. What the hell is that for? Kid only humped and looked away. Miguel's turned away, thought only left out in the cold. Pick up the down sword, Surge. We ain't got all night. Gosh, she was a nightmare. Sometimes I wonder why you even bothered coming along with these little jaunts. Dazed, I stumbled to my feet and sheepishly picked up the sword. But what are you supposed to do with this tarnished old relic? Whoa, I knew you fell over. That thing was heavy. Good boy, right? Off to the chamber of death. Eyes on the prize, lads. Dragging the sword behind me with one hand and clutching my dropping heel with another, I followed Kid out of the room toward a place where it sounded like certain doom awaited. Okay, so we got the sword. Now we need to head for the chamber of death, which is the spinning. These are the spinning spikes of doom. So go left. Follow the corridor. Uh, that's in the main hall. That's to the right. Nope, this is not it. Lisa's room. No, 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 no. Go back. Turn back. My God. Go left. A dead end with a large door while the way to an entrance. I really don't know. Go right. Ancient looking door. Wait, is it a clock tower? No, not this way. Not that way. This better be it. Yep, this is it. Well, this place is just creepy as I remember. Lovely. She was looking at the stains on the wall. The ceiling had been pulled back up, but there was no reason to believe it might not come grinding down again any moment. Bearing in mind what Riddell has told us the room was called, it definitely wasn't somewhere we wanted to linger. Quickly, before crouching down and examining the ground for clues. Oh, hissed Miguel. Ken and I crouched down too. What were we even looking for, though? What could the old man have left in this room that would help us bring him back to reality? The flagstones of the floor were smeared with black, gooey substance which gave an odd aroma. I shook my head, trying to drive an uncomfortable thought from my mind. Kit saw me included wasn't doing much better herself. She slowly turned, positioning herself so she was facing away from the stains on the wall. There was no point in anything like that. I just had to try. But then, oh, great. The door slammed shut, but the gears ground into life. Here we bloody go again. We have to stop it. If we don't deal with the trap, we'll never find what we're looking for. Things like more and more. We ducked our heads after trying to avoid the blades that shut up from the bottom. The man screamed, "The sword! Use it, Anlanzer!" What? How do you use the sword? There, I drove the sword to the floor with all my might. A shock ran through the room. Beams of light scattered from the blade, covering the floor and walls, and then racing upward. The ceiling gave an almighty judder, then stopped. Made it seem like the only way to do was just like, psh, hit on the ground. We made it. I sank to the floor helplessly, my heart racing. Hey, what's that? Gil was pointing at part of the wall. It was where we seen the message written in blood. Guess we found what we're looking for. Part of the wall had collapsed, revealing a cavity behind what had looked like a piece of solid stone. What? Inside, I could see something glinting faintly in the darkness. Kate reached within her fingertips, carefully extracting whatever it was from within. It was a slender ring with a delicately engraved design that looked like overlapping ferns. The ring was adorned with several small rubies in a pattern that resembled a bunch of grapes. The crest of Asia, or Acacia, I don't know how to pronounce that. So speaking, I can see a signet. Kim put the ring in her middle finger where it sat uneasily. Didn't seem to be her side. The rubies gave off an eerie glint. Right, let's not spend more time here than we have to. We managed to foil the trap and retrieve the Acunian signet, and I left the Einstein where it stood, and we exited the room. Okay, so we got a ring, so now we have to head back. Continue on. So we gotta go back to the dungeon. Oh no, I gotta hit continue on. Shoot. Back down the stairs. That's to the damn thing. That was the wrong room. Oh my god. I have really gotta find a way to get back. That would just probably lead us to the damn, like, organ. Hmm. Oh, no, 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 wait. Nah, that's not the way. Kid, stop this. There's something there. Listen carefully. Oh boy. Goblins again. It's a skeleton. A battle has been won. Wait a second, what's that? There's a leather bag on the ground containing a sparkling gem. Now we're talking. Kid's face lit up with joy. Nice find, Serge. What a beaut. Kid's asked away, leaving me to settle with a compliment. I was starting to feel a little worse for wear. I was going to have. Now I'm going to have to be more careful now on, or this was going to end badly. Maybe he's not your jungle after all. Just goes to show any old weirdo can make something of himself if they put their mind to it. Kid's eyes glint with mischief. Oh, she loves jewelry. Across the door. Dell's room. That jewel might be for something. Actually, wait, what if I go back? Because, I mean, we had the ring, so maybe, like, you know, she might say something about it. That was sitting on the sofa, gazing wistfully at something in her hands. It was an old faded photograph. She noticed looking at her and gently beckoned for us to come over. Is something the matter? She asked us politely, gesturing at some seats nearby and inviting us to sit down. Nadia, Kid huffed, bluntly refusing to offer. Let's get out of here, boys, she said, and made a beeline for the door. Riddell's gentle voice followed. Take care. Kid stopped just before leaving. Then she spoke, her back still to Lady Manor. You're not helping, it's just making an old man suffer even more, are you? Who put him in the dungeon in the first place, and why? Riddell looked away and said nothing. Fine, keep your trap shut if you want. Just remember that we ain't here to do your dirty work. And you can think twice before you mess us about. I'm looking out for me and me alone. I know, sighed Riddell. Her whisper reply vanishing into the air night. Horizon returns to the corridor. I think the photo she was looking at was probably like, you know, her dad and herself. Let's go back to the atrium. Now we're talking. Toward the dungeon. And what the hell? Oh. Inside. Having retrieved the Arcanian signet, we returned to the old man's cell. As soon as we got there, Miguel took a step forward and grabbed onto the bars. They creaked and groaned as he heaved at them, gritting his teeth as he summoned every ounce of his might. Slowly they bowed apart. He stepped into the cell, through the gap, and Kid and I followed. The old man was exactly as we left him, staring into space and muttering meaningless words. Kid walked over to him and crouched down. She grabbed the what? She grabbed him by the collar and yelled at him? That does not make no sense. She grabbed him? I think it's supposed to say she grabbed him by the collar and yelled at him. That's what we were supposed to say. Wakey, wakey, granddad. We got a few questions for ya. Here, get an eye full of this. Ring any bells, hmm? Kid Lady can see in his face, shaking him roughly all the while. The old man's head lolled as he limply allowed himself to be manipulated. Trying to get between Kid and the old man, she glared at me. You're in the race, Serge. We're here for answers, remember? But if you really want to help him, you can't chicken out now. But look at him. There's no help anymore. Surely this all ended for him long ago. It's not. I would not be so certain. It's not over. It still means something. He has simply decided to pretend not to see it. Yeah, he is. It's not over, you say. Struck by the old man's sudden interruption, we all turned to look at him. A fleet glimmer of light has returned to his once vacant eyes. That's right. None of this is over until we make Lynx pay. His eyes began to cloud once more, so my former allies have finally come for me. I am to blame. It is because my indiscretion that the frozen flame was stolen, and that all of the dragoons, only I remain here in the manor. But now all is well, for you have returned. Oh, Melgid, oh, Zorada, Where have you been all this time? Did you all return to Lake Stock? Never mind all that, Granddad. Where's the frozen flame? Give us a clue, anything. Come on out with it. I couldn't decide if kids sounded more annoyed or more desperate. A frozen flame? The old man looked momentarily confused, and then a wan smile across his face. My word, Lady Riddell, it's been far too long since I had the pleasure. Why, you need only turn the third candlestick from the left as you enter the main hall. That will open the underground vault, as you know. Okay. Third candlestick from the left. So, let's see. Third candle stick left. Sorry. From third candlestick from the left. Kia wrapped her arms around the old man and held him tight. And then in a trembling voice she whispered, I'm sorry. I promise we'll get it back. Yeah. The man recoiled in horror and then began to sob once more. I am to blame. It's all my fault. Forgive me. Forgive me. Like, if you want to get out of here, now's your chance. But it was no use. He was too busy carrying and wailing to hear me. We're done here, Sarge. We can't help him. And there's things we need to be doing. Thank you, I whispered to the old man before following Kid and Miguel out the dungeon. Okay, so we got the information from the old man. Now we need to make our way to the main hall. So continue. Stairs going down. What's that? Staring as I can see a pale white bundle of something shaking shadows. Huh, that's strange. I'm moving in front of the kid trying to get a better look. And then suddenly a strange pen started crawling across the floor towards us at an unbelievable speed. And I raised myself, the white figure returned foot and reared up its full height. What is it, a ghost? Ah, it's a skeleton again. My head above the ground, so it crashed down. I managed to the pile of jump and I noticed its head was nowhere to be seen. Third, your hood. I reached up to start to find the hood and had crampons on my teeth. Many times my hand refused to cooperate. I could only flap my hands at the skull uselessly. I heard Miguel snap at me. Stand still! My head exploded with stars and Miguel's foot slammed into the back of my head. And I thought I was going to pass out. The skull was shattered in pieces like an eggshell, bits of broken bone scattered down from the top of my head. The skeleton froze mid-charge and fell apart, only motionless on the floor. Battle 1. So Mag, yeah, thanks. You didn't have to kick me in the head, though. We're finished. Let's get moving. Ow. Hey, it wasn't necessary, dude. Went down the stairs. I had to go back to the main hall. God, how I hate that shit. It's just literally like, looping. Gotta find the one thing. There we go. Jesus, that took a while. Continue along the path. Uh, Turn back. There we go. Toward the main hall. I didn't mean to do that shit. Okay. Here we are. Signs, portraits. Third candlestick from the left. 1, 2, 3. There. She reached out towards it. I held my breath as I watched. Say your prayers, Lynx. We're coming for you. The room channeled with a sudden rhythmic rumbling sound as if a massive gear was turning. What was that? When I felt a strange sensation of exploding. Feel that? I started to stagger. Downward. Came to reply with yell. I couldn't believe, but I also couldn't deny the feeling downward motion. The main hall was sinking to the earth. And then another rumble. The room was set directly accelerated. Cold sweat dripped from my back. Heart filled with a mixture of fear and anticipation. What was waiting for us down there? Frozen flame? Our prize at the end of the adventure, but what was it really? Would it live up to our expectations? I tied my fists, which were slick with sweat. What were Kid and Miguel thinking? The room remained veiled in silence. As in response to my thoughts, a quiet voice came from me. Sometimes it was Kid. I looked over to her, standing stiffly, staring forward with her hands clenched to her fists. Sometimes I feel like I'm stuck in a losing battle, a fight I'll never win no matter what I do. At the sight of her, I never witnessed before. Even from this angle, I could see fear and doubt flickering across her face. I felt a tender sting in my heart. There's nothing to worry about. You will win in the end. I promise. Drongo. She gave me a gentle smile. Can't promise anything in this world, Serge. There are no guarantees. But thanks anyway. She grinned again, seemed a little embarrassed, then looked me straight in the eye. And then I had the strangest sensation. That wasn't Kid, or not the only kid anyway. I was overwhelmed by the inexplicable oddness of the idea. She noticed immediately, of course, and our little moment was over. The kid I knew was back in the room. Trying to catch flies, mate? Sorry. And just for a moment there, it felt like you were someone else. What are you going on about? Kid gave me a confused look, tilting her head. It must be because we're drawing near the frozen flame. McGill's voice, as soft as ever, slipped unbidden from the shadows. What are you two on about? Kid turned towards him with another puzzled frown. To the inner self of Inu, struggling against the pull of the abyss. But would she have been talking about? A crash split the silence as if we collided with something. Scratch! A lot of metallic scraping filled the air. The room rocking finally came to a halt. It looked like the end of the line. All change. A swelling grandeur of the organ suddenly filled the air. No one had so much as touched it, and yet the keys and the pedals were moving by themselves. The melody play was both unsettling and sad. Funeral tune, is it? Way to greet your guests. Kid took a long stride forward and turned to face me and McGill. Come on, let's go. McGill and I gently nodded our assent. Kid grinned and turned back to the door. I'm coming for you, Lynx. This is the end for you. And with that, she led us from the hall. We continued down on a corner wall slid with condensation. The air was thick and heavy, and though bright with the stench of death, we were really close to Lynx's hidden vault at last. And there was not anything turning back in front of us. There was something strange about Kid that night. Miguel didn't seem to be his usual self either. To begin with, it was strangely rare for him to speak so much, let alone show any emotion. What happened to make them change like that? Unable to take signs anymore, I decided to speak. I had a question that had been on my mind. What is the frozen flame really just a jewel? There was only signs in return, and then when it seemed like no one replied at all, Miguel spoke. His little voice second term. It's a sacred stone that cures all ills, heals all wounds, and grants eternal life. Or so some still believe. In truth, it is part of a tremendous rock that fell from the skies long ago. That rock had a source of hitherto unknown power, with which mankind's hidden potential was unlocked. He's saying that it was humanity's dreams manifest. But it is not always good to have one's dreams come true. Many were bewitched by the great power, some were led astray by it. It even led to a kingdom's ruin, a kingdom once prosperous, yet now more in fragments and dust, its name lost to history. For a moment I thought I heard a hint of pain and sadness from Miguel's voice, but maybe it was just my nerves. Wait, how do you know this, Miguel? He said nothing. He only stared at me with his piercing dark eyes, and then continued onward in silence. For a while, only the sound of footsteps echoed in the corridor, and then Kid gave a doubtful hump. Look, I don't know if all that stuff about the frozen flame is true or not. It's neither here nor there to me. Straight a fist. We're here to sell a score of the links by nicking that thing. That's all I know, and that's all I want to know. What had Link seen the frozen flame? Why had it been worth risking so much for? We trudged on down the dark passageway, each of us alone with our thoughts. Concentrating on my footsteps lessened the burden of my worries somewhat, and I felt a renewed vigor, to a degree. Suddenly, McGill stopped in his tracks. Wait! Huh? Kid turned around, puzzled. Gotta make a choice to make. Just then a powerful light surged across the floor, and a ring-shaped sigil appeared. Damn it! A blood circle! Kid and McGill were at least quick enough to try and jump clear, but they weren't quite quick enough. The three of us were trapped in a circle of blinding light. Whoa, that's cool. The sigil rotated left and right with us at the center, cutting off all routes of escape. God, we're trapped. Oop, gotta remember. A wall of heat and wind blew up around us, and swirling lights and spirals of light assailed us whenever we turned. Don't let the light mesmerize you. Cover your eyes, shouted Miguel, raising a hand over his mask. Turn with the light, not against it. There has to be a way out. What? I barely understand what's going on. Kid elbow brushed against the wall of light surrounding us, sending sparks to fly. Be careful. Merely the touch is more than enough to harm you. Stay well back. I slowly turned my body to follow the movements himself a ring of light looking for a gap to escape through. Right 3 times. 3 steps to the right. There I see it. I started way through. I found a gap in the wall of light and carefully walked through it. The kid yelled this way. We managed to get through the barrier and escape, but we weren't out of the woods yet. There was still another wall of light swelling and breaking in front of us. I slowly took my bike to the door escape. I turned it twice. 2 steps to the left. There, I see it. I started way through. I found a gap in the wall of light, carefully walked through. Okay, it's even the same thing. Hey, made it. Let's go. Good thing I wrote that shit down. Suddenly, my body felt light and I staggered 2 or 3 steps forward. We're back in the deserted passageway we'd been walking down before the blood circle had appeared. That sigil had vanished from the floor and everything was silent as if nothing had been amiss. And then I look up. The door. Looks like we finally made it, boys. Kid strode up to the door with a wicked grin on her face. Also, I can't save it here. The true frozen flame awaits. Miguel's eyes gave a glint from behind his mask, like glass catching moonlight in the darkness of light. Well, at least the good thing is I saved before, like, we went into, like, the main hall. Oh, main hall door. Let's go. Kid reached for the handle. So this is the place, huh? Kid narrowed her eyes, straining to see her surroundings in the darkness. Cool. A vast pitch black expanse surrounded us whichever way we looked. It was as if we entered an impossibly vast cave. We were in a place forgotten by time, unknown to the world, hidden deep within the bowels of night. A gentle crimson light hovered in the darkness, the frozen flame. Alright, now it is ours. The light of the flame ebbed and waned gently as if responding to Kid's voice. What the heck is this place? There's mountains of bloody rubble everywhere. McGill took a step forward into the room and said in a whisper that was almost a groan, "No, it can't be." Ah, but it is. The ruins of the lost kingdom of mages. The voice drifted down through the darkness from above. Kid looked up in shock. Lynx! Lynx, I'll kick your flea-bitten ass so hard you'll kiss the moon. Kid pulled her knife from her belt and threw it as hard as she could. It fell to the floor with a clang as if knocked out of the air by some unseen hand. Still the same impetuous child as ever, I see. There's no way to greet an old friend. Sorry, Boston. The kid gritted her teeth with rage. And you, Shadow Dweller, I'll have none of your tricks this time. You must think me of a fool till you believe I fall for that again. Miguel, who had been quietly slipping into the darkness that surrounded us, stopping dead in his tracks. So this was the infamous Lynx. Gee, it doesn't look like the Lynx from Chrono Cross. The lord of this deadly manor. The man who murdered the closest thing Kid had to family, who had assassinated General Viper and eradicated the Order of the Akaya Dragoons. A pleasure as always, my dear Kid. And I must say, you followed the trail of breadcrumbs I laid for you admirably closely, my greedy little sneak thief. What the bloody? She stepped forward, bristling. Lynx narrowed his eyes as his lip twisted and snarled. You know what I want, Kid. Give me the stone you carry. The stone? Did Kid have some kind of jewel I didn't know about? Peh, don't know what you're talking about, mate. She just managed to recover her composure, narrowing her eyes scornfully at her old foe. Spare me the young child. I know that you have it. I know she gave it to you. Hand over the time egg. Now, whoa, the time egg? The what? Whatever it was, I never heard of it. Wait, the time egg? Fuck. I know that has to be from Chrono Trigger. You're dreaming you think I'll give it to like to you. Kid shot back. It's all I have left of her. I'll never let go of it. Not for anyone, and definitely not for you. I'll tell you what's gonna happen, you bastard. First, I'm gonna take the frozen flame, and then I'm gonna ram it down your throat. Actually, the time. Oh, the timing. It's the chrono trigger. Shit, I just found that out. I'm pretty sure it is. Incontrovertible young fool. I was hoping this might be a civilized exchange. Alas, it seems my words will only fall onto deaf's ears, and you are determined to repeat your past errors. Lynx moved his hand to the grip of an orient golden saber that hung from his belt. Last time I showed you mercy and let you live with your life. That was a mistake, one which I mean to correct. Surge, Miguel, stay back. Kid took a step forward, glaring at Lynx, her gaze unflinching. This ends here and now. You'll pay what you've done. You'll pay for what you did to Luca. Oh, it's there. It's there. It's there. Oh, shit. Damn, there it is, ladies and gentlemen, right there. You'll pay what you did to Luca. Oh, wow. Damn. Wow. With a scream, Kid leapt into the air like a bird taking the flight. Her foot lashed out like a sudden kick aimed at the side of Link's head, but there was no contact, where Lynx had mere moments before, now was only an empty space. Kid landed immediately and launched herself back into the air, pulling the full force of momentum into another kick. This time Lynx leaned back, letting Kid's foot swing past only by a hair's breadth over his nose. And then it was Link's turn. He lashed out with his saber, carving an arc through the air in front of him. Kid was ready for him. However, he already had jumped back to a safe distance. The two glared at each other from mere footsteps apart. At least you had the decency to prepare a little bit better than last time, Lynx purred. A red line appeared on Kid's cheek, slowly collapsing into a drop of blood. Kid! In a flash, she launched herself into yet another attack. Lynx dodged to the side and made to strike her with the hilt of his saber. Kid moved awkwardly to avoid attack, losing her footing. And then Lynx was on her like a bird of prey before she could fully recover. There was a grass, and a cough as Lynx drove his knee into the pit of her stomach. Kid clamped. A steady stream of red dripped from her lips. Will that be all, girl? Lynx gave Kid a mischievous kick to the side, sending her flying. She hadn't fought a rubber, her body rolling until she hit a large stone pillar, and there she lay lightly still. Kid? Kid! I screamed her name as I charged toward Lynx. Miguel was there already. He flew into the darkness as part of the shadows before crashing down on Lynx like a bolt of form of blue. Lynx jumped back and countless threads of light flew from his fingertips from Miguel. A droning hum, the threads of light surrounded Miguel, crossing over one another. They spread to form a lattice of light that gave up a blinding glare and trapped Miguel where he stood. What is this? Miguel staggered and groaned, attempting to shield his knife in his hands. Simply a still my shadow. Excuse me, sorry. Excuse me. It is a simple enough spell, my shadowy friend, for those who are inclined to learn it, in which, sadly for you, leaves no darkness in which to hide. Lynx glared at Miguel with a venomous grin. You've been quite the thorn in my side. I'll let you live long enough to even to regret it. Miguel struggled and groaned. I had to do something. Kid and Miguel needed me. But what was I going to do? Toward Kid while I was paralyzed in decision. What's the matter, Kid? You're so bold and forming to go, aren't you? Entertained? Look down at the Kid's broken by it. Now, do you want even timing? We can still be silly about this. As a gentleman, it pains me to have seized a fair maid's value by force. Even if it is a fair in question, in fact, the filthy street rat pressed his foot on Kid's head. And her voice faint passes. It's Luca's stone, not yours. I'll never give it to anyone, and no one give it to likes of you. Coming get close to her, what was it going to do? I ran to where she lay. She was flat out, still collapsed where she had fallen, and blood started to come out. Kid, say something. I crashed down at her, clenching her face in panic. She had groaned. She began to stir, her face twisted with pain. Surge. It's okay, Kid. I'm here. How touching. Although if I were more concerned about my own well-being if I were you, the voice came from behind me. It felt as if ice water had been poured down the neck. I jumped to my feet and turned around. Lynx was looking down at me with a cold, emotionless stare. Any friend of kid is certainly no friend of mine. Forgive me, but I cannot permit you to leave this place alive. Furiously, his hand has shot out toward me. His clawed fingers clamped around my throat. I couldn't breathe. Tighten his grip, lifting bodily until my feet were digging the air. I could feel his talons mercifully digging deeper and deeper into my neck. Panic filled my mind. Look, kid. See your friend? See him suffer? This is your doing. This is your hand around his neck. Kid's breathing ragged and blood still dripped from her lips. Opening an eye, she groggily raised her head. But she couldn't get up. She didn't have the strength. Surge, give me the timing. Do you even know what it is? I suspect not. Think of it as a concerned pocket of space. With the frozen flame of the timing in hand, one can bend the fabric of space and time and rewrite the past. There are errors that I mean to correct, mistakes in the past that must be set right. Link's narrow, motionless eyes returned to my face. How long before he perishes? I struggled to breathe, but only could make choking sounds. Kid screamed my name. Decide. Will you watch the boy die or relent? Does this life mean nothing to you? I can't. She balled her hands to fists and dropped her gaze. My vision started to fade. And then I heard her voice as she struggled to speak through the pain. I'm sorry, Surge, but I swore to sacrifice anything to stop Blix. Don't worry about me. It was all I could do to force the words out past Link's icy grip. I was starting to black out. Was this really how it was going to end? Ah, for crying out loud, I find you in here. You have your damn rock. Link's grip on my throat loosened. Groaning with pain, Kid reached a shaking hand to her shirt. I knew you would come around the end. Link threw my body to the ground and walked over toward her. Just shut up and take it, you Boston. It's all you deserve. All the strength she could muster, Kid lashed out at Lynx with her right hand. Gah! He leapt back in a desperate attempt to evade the blow, but it was too late. Kid's nails, sharp as cat's claws, raked mercilessly into his face. Lynx roared with pain. He staggered, clutching his left eye. Blood oozed through the gaps in his fingers. You wretched little shit of a girl! Lynx stood awkwardly, still clutching at the wound on his face. The fingers of his free hand arched in fierce talons as he walked back towards Kid, who still lay on the ground. I will kill you all! He kicked her hard, concentrating all his wrath and venom into the blow. Kid grasped as all the wind was kicked out of her, yet more blood ran from her mouth as her body rolled across the floor. Kid! I yelled hoarsely, clutching my burning throat with one hand. Lynx turned his head slowly to look at me, one eye fixing on me coldly as he came into view. He took a step toward me. Yes, but perhaps it would be better to start with you, my dear kid. Rest assured that your friend's death will be a most elaborate, painful one. You will truly know what it means to suffer, boy. I will put you through the same suffering as I did that Luca woman. Kid's body stirred with shock and horror. Her eyes slowly fixed on Lynx. They were wild eyes, stained with the blood that poured from her brow. Gritting her teeth, she staggered to her feet. Lynx! Lynx! And then an explosion of light burst forth from the frozen flame. Another light began to form from somewhere in the kid's chest, resonating with the light of the frozen flame. The twin lights entwined, twirling slowly upward. As it rose, the golden spiral spread. No, this can't be. Link stood motionless, transfixated by the spectacle. Was this the Time-Make's power? Kid screamed as a raging blaze of life engulfed her. I'll never let you do it again. I'll never let you steal from me again. Bathed in the glow, her body shook. Blood-red tears dripped from her eyes as they took on a distant look. And then she collapsed to the ground, as if all the life had gone out of her. I heard a voice. It was quiet and still like the evening. It has come to pass. Kid is retracing her lost memories back through time, back to the Lost Kingdom. It was through her power that the kingdom fell, that it was swallowed by an all-encompassing vortex of time. In her grief, she wished to despair. Her past, her future, she wanted She wanted it all to sink into the void, to be lost in the seeming world of time. She despised what she had done. She closed herself off from all that she saw and heard and cursed her very existence. But the stone wished for her to live. The hands of her clock were rewound, her memories unraveled. The stone gave her a chance to begin again. The stone had both the power and the will to bring all this about. Sinking through the sea of time, she drifted here, a mere babe, her memories a blank slate. The time makes shattered, its fragments raining down on the world, becoming shards of sorrow and anguish. The world around us drifted into pieces. It swallowed us, engulfed us. We were consumed, locked into the void. And then a girl's scream echoed in the darkness. That voice, was that Kid? It sounded just like what? No, this is all wrong. The black vortex, it surrounds us. No, stop. Oh, wow. Where, where am I? A dinosaur? I have lost everything, and now I can but wonder. The world drifts, and time is a blur. There is only an endless, unknowable sea. This is where time begins and ends. This is where all life finds peace. I see myself as a baby crying next to my mother, an exhausted yet proud look on her face. I see myself age and wizen, waiting to succumb to death's embrace with a smile. I see countless incarnations of myself, walking time's intricate corridors as ghosts. This is a place where countless worlds overlap and infinite dreams play out. If only I could rest here for eternity. If only I could free myself of all my burdens and sleep here in the sea of dreams. But I hear it calling me. I hear the song. Kid? Kid, please. Can you hear me? Kid! Kid, say something. Kid, you gotta stay with me. Who's that? Who is calling me? Surge? Where am I? Kid? Kid, you're awake! I heard a song. It was beautiful. It was that song that Luca loved. Kid closed her eyes and her face glowed with a warm smile. I'll never forget that song. Makes me want to cry whenever I hear it. I'm just glad you're back. It felt like I was losing you, like you were going somewhere far, far away. Before I knew it, I was humming the song for you. I don't know if I ever mentioned it, but I wrote it when I first started out as a musician. I know you like it, so I gave you a gentle nod. It was you. You were the one who called me back. That was you calling me name. Thanks, Serge. It's okay. It's okay now. Um, I'm back. Suddenly, she grasped with pain. Link's saber had plunged deep into her right shoulder. In time, it was Link himself. Oh wow, it's not even over yet. I told you, kid. I told you I would kill you. She had no strength left to fight. What was it gonna do? I threw myself over Kid's inherent form. I had to protect her. Ha! You rushed in easily to your grave, boy. Link glared coldly at me with his remaining eye. At last, your time has come. He raised his saber high, preparing to strike. Enough! Stunned, we looked toward the intruder. You. Wait, who is it? There stood an old crone, her wizened features obscured by her heavy hood. Oh, it's the old lady! How had she made it all the way down here? Lady Vera, what had been done to bring forth magisterial general running, I wonder, he growled. far too long, Lord Lynx. I pity that I seem not to have caught you at your best. The crone met Lynx's mad stare head on. I will take the frozen flame. After all, it seems you two have been quite unable to decide which of you should have it. She raised a hand and armed soldiers poured into the room. McGill lifted the kid to her feet. This seems like a good time to leave. No, you regret this, witch! He kicked off on the floor and his body rose into the air. Then he turned his venomous glare on us. And you, kid, you'll pay for this with your life soon enough. You will never be safe from me. With that, he disappeared like a puff of smoke. The crone lingered for a moment, her eyes resting on us. Kid, if you wish to try and steal the frozen flame again, you're welcome to try any time you please. We will be waiting. But you'll have to get out of here alive first. The soldiers drew their weapons and fell upon us. Darkness, heed my call. With a kiss on the pawns, Miguel spread his arms and drew a sigil in the air. Hurry, Surge! This way! I grabbed onto him and we plunged into blackness. I'm guessing it's a way like teleport out. But damn, the old lady came and saved them. Whew! Lucky, lucky. Thanks to McGill's magic, we managed to escape the manor alive. But the lights of torches dotted the forest, and we could hear soldiers calling to one another. We stopped briefly into the darkness of the woods, and Kid leaned heavily on a tree, desperately trying to quiet her ragged breath. It was a terrible wound she suffered, and it seemed to be taking its toll. Are you okay, Kid? Yeah, don't worry about me, mate. We're surrounded. It won't be long before they find us, said McGill, his eyes constantly scanning the area. Kid raised her head to look at me. It's me and McGill they want. Get out of here, Surge. It's us they want, not you. What are you saying? I'm not leaving you here. Look at you. You can barely stand. It's nothing I can't handle. Besides, I got McGill with me. If they catch you with us, they won't go easy on you. But I remember everything. I remember another me. A me from a long, long time ago. Slowly, Kid averted her gaze, looking up at the night sky. I have to go. The stars reflected in her eyes, and suddenly she looked nothing more than an ordinary young girl with a sad, distant expression on her face. Kid, don't worry, Surge. Okay, we will meet again. Kid smiled. We'll meet again somewhere. We'll meet again somewhere, someday, sometime. Promise. Her eyes closed gently. I didn't manage to nick the frozen flame in the end, and I lost the timing too. The only thing I had left of Lucas. But it's okay. Everything's gonna be okay. There's something inside me that shines brighter than any stupid jewel. The most important thing in the world. She opened her eyes again and fixed them on me. I could have lost myself in their deaths forever. No one can take it from me. Not for as long as I live. There's nothing else in the world I wanted but this. I doubt I ever wanted anything again. I only wanted this moment. All the clocks in the world could have stopped right then and there for all I cared. And that was exactly what I wished for as I gazed at her. Goodbye, Surge, and thanks. She looked down and turned away and disappeared into the darkness of the night. Will I ever see her again? Kid! Don't follow me, Surge. Please. Just don't. I strained to try and catch a glimpse of her as the last trace of her shadow vanished toward a place I might never reach again. No, Kid! I leapt to my feet, meeting chance after her, but a shadow soon blocked my path. McGill? Without saying a word, he slowly shook his head. Behind the mask, I saw sadness in his eyes. Then the shadow withdrew and melted into darkness. McGill? Kid, wait, don't leave me! I screamed into the night, but there was no reply. The black silence swallowed my cries. So basically that's sentence she said, somewhere, somehow. That's like an end of the Chrono Cross. Kid. Kid. So I'm guessing that ends there. So yeah, the time egg was definitely the chrono trigger. And so ends another tale. Perhaps one day I'll see Kid, Miguel, and Riddell again. One day. Somewhere at another time, in another world. Perhaps none of us will even realize it. But that's a story for another day. For now, I must put down my pen. Literally referencing Chrono Cross. Oh shit, this is the end. I closed my grandfather's diary. And then from downstairs I heard my mother calling. Did you hear me? Did you hear me? Your friend's here. Nimble footsteps charged up the stairs. The door flew open. In tumbled a young girl. A girl who seemed somehow familiar. Hey, Serge. It's a beautiful day for adventure. Found a run-down old manor off in the woods to the north. You want to go exploring? Come on, put the book down. Let's get out of here. There's the photo of them. Ah, kid undid her hair. That's all flowing. Oh wow, they didn't even bother even translating the damn credits? Wow. It's literally in Japanese. Well, that's it. Looks like I managed to beat Radical Dreamers in one night. Wow. I literally gotta say, dude, like, Jesus Christ, that took me fucking 3 hours. So, at least we know more about this shit now. So literally it takes place fucking years after Chrono Trigger. And literally, let me see something real quick. I know the damn, timing is the Chrono Trigger. Here we go. Timing. Because I need to know. Because technically, in order to bring back, let's see, Chrono Trigger, yeah, I was right. It is the Chrono Trigger. But here's one thing. Here is one thing. In order to get the time egg, you have to talk to the old dude after, Chrono dies. And once he finds out, Chrono, suffered, he's gone, he tells, Marl in the game that there is a way to bring, one who has lost his life. But it requires you to have two things. Number one, you have to find a suitable, clone of him, which is where you go back to the Millennial Fair and you have to play, that one person's game by, seeing how far you can get by matching the clone of Chrono, movements. Number two, you take the time egg to the top of the Death Mountain. But in order to get there, you have to actually use the bunnies, I think? No, or I think, yeah, to get up there. So let me see real quick. Yeah, I was right. It's a Death Mountain. Finn, the end. I mean, for now. So let me see. Yeah, You do use the time egg. All right. Actually, I want to see. So that's the end of this. So it's done. I mean, it looks like I made all the right choices. Kid, let Le Trésor Interdit completed. Oh shit! There is multiple endings to this game, and I got the first ending. Whoa! I gotta check this out here. Radical Dreamers endings. So it's literally literally the kid ending. It sounds like the ending that leads to Chrono Cross. I mean, literally, because I know like literally Chrono Trigger and Chrono Cross. When you beat the main game, you get like different endings when you beat the main game. I do know that. That's Chrono Cross. Huh. There's a love in a point system. Never knew that. So let me see. Okay, I'm like looking at it right now. See if there's any endings. Okay. Oh, okay. A fight will ensue and both Kid and Miguel will be trapped. No matter what you choose, the result is the same. If Kid appreciates you enough, she'll give up the stone for you, but don't let the menus time out. Well, I accidentally let the menu time out once. After the credits roll, press A to see a list of scenarios you completed. Press A again to head for the first selection of the menu. Now, when you start the game, it'll play a different story depending on what you do. You'll want to save the current state in your emulator. Well, that's emulator bullshit. Okay, so yeah, this is the first ending I got. So that's ending number one I got. So basically, when you're traveling through like the whole manor, you have to make sure like kid appreciates you. So that way, like when that happens, then literally, she can go ahead and like like give it a time make. So I think that's it. So we're done. Radical Dreamers is officially done.